Hello, and welcome. So if I turn this up here, you should be able to hear the room in full effect. We are coming into the final 3.5 hours of our 24-hour marathon, which is crazy. It's been a slog, I'm not going to lie, and I'm going to need your help and I'm going to need your support to get me through. So if you are tuning in with me, please do say hi in the comments. Just leave a hi, a live, let me know who you are, where you are. Because I can see we've got people tuning in. We'll be here for the next 3.5 hours. We're going to have some fun things planned and lined up, but I need your help to get me through this. So if you are here, do tap in, do say hi. I'm going to flip my screen. We're going to join back into the room and let's see what's being said.
Or even, I don't know, is anyone here out of interest on the mods got like TikTok? Is anybody here on TikTok? No, no, me neither. Obviously, just give us a quick flash of the mics if you feel Clubhouse has helped your business since you've been putting yourself forward on social media. So awesome. So Emmanuel, and I don't know if everybody else is busy, but certainly I feel that Clubhouse has helped me. So just put yourself out there on social media, get your business known. 14, set up a guide on Airbnb. So this is one of the ones where, there's an option to set up a guide. It doesn't take ever so long to do, and you can set up some sort of guide on Airbnb. It is free to do, and it just allows you to look more professional as a host. So I'd certainly recommend that, especially for the startup businesses and people looking to grow on there. 15, make sure you've got some sort of Google listing as well. So I see so many people, when we think of ourselves as consumers, what's the first thing that we do when we're looking for something? We open our phone, we open the laptop, and we just open up Google and just type into that, the one choice search bar, which is whatever we're looking for. So if you haven't already, make sure as a business you're listed on Google with some sort of Google listing. That'll instantly make it easier to find if somebody's searching stays in Norwich or stays in Emmanuel, where are you based?
South Florida. Sorry. Yeah, US.
South Florida. So if people searching those, do you have a Google listing yourself?
Yes. Yeah. So when you look up any short-term rental hotels, we come up on there as well.
One thing I'd be interested, do you do each individual listing as a place, or just the main business name?
No, just the main business name.
Awesome.
I remember Mark did that, right? The individual place. Sorry, Monesh, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's fine. I was just going to say, I do individual listing. The reason why I do that is to be able to take advantage of the space in my area against my competitor, because I can list as many as I want and to try and get mine before others. So that's the reason why I do it. And I would definitely say, Liam, this is most probably very, very important doing it for the travelers market, the corporate market. It's absolutely important for you to be on Business Google. We've done it. We don't do any ads. We don't run any ads, but we've always had it, and we always try and get reviews on there. And the last booking we had from there, so far we've already banked £18,000, and the contract is for 3 years. So it's about £291,000 on one property for the next 3 years. So it's very, very important to get yourself listed on Business Google.
Definitely. And I do the same as you, Manisha. I do it per listing for two reasons. It definitely helps with guests. Also, when they're searching, for the name of the property or whatever, it then comes up on Google. It's easy for them to find, to get directions to it. But then also from a management perspective, we're looking to be seen by people in the area. So we do two things. One is make sure that our listings are there by the name, but in brackets we always have our company name as well. So if you was to search Norwich and look through some of the locations, you'll keep seeing Hamlet's Rest brackets Ginger Gold, Chapel Break brackets Ginger Gold, and it helps to show that brand in general, and that we are where we have our locations. But also, if you're a landlord and you're thinking about having your place managed, people might be seeing that, and it builds trust. If you're seen in more places, people say that you need 7 touch points to build trust, and certainly by having those multiple listings, it is easy enough to do. It doesn't take long to get those set up. So yeah, definitely something that we do. Tip number, we're going to skip to the next tip. So one of the tips just alongside that, what we do, and this comes from Shamil here in the UK, who operates short-term lets in the UK. He said this on the last 24-hour room that we done, and that was to change your Wi-Fi to be your company name, so everybody in the area who is locally or traveling by will actually see your company name whenever they're searching Wi-Fi. Again, all these little things, and then actually the password we now use is Book Direct. So hopefully everybody in the room won't travel to Norwich and nick some of my Wi-Fi now, but it's 2 just key things where you're getting your business name out there, and also the fact that you've got Book Direct in there as well as your password. I just like that, so we initiated that in our business. Okay, so we've still got another 12 tips. I know we've got 4 minutes until Mark joins us, so I might overrun slightly, but I'm sure he won't mind, hopefully. So make sure you've got an email list building up of your guests. So Manisha, who operates sort of contractors, a bit like ourselves here in Norwich, if you've got leisure guests, no matter what, just make sure you're building up some sort of email list where you've got your guests who stay with you. And the way to do this is to make sure that you're able to obtain their email by directing them to join your email list for perhaps either a discount or maybe an early check-in, or a number of different ways that you can do it. But the key thing is that you're then building up an audience where you've got direct contact to. And say you've got a couple of last-minute deals at that stage where you've built up a list of previous guests who have stayed in your place. You've got their permissions to market to them. You tell them you're not going to spam them, but send them an occasional email about how your business is doing, about last-minute deals or any news. And you can simply send an email which will say, we've got, this is what's happened in our business. We've now taken on a brand new Riverside apartment, whatever it is. Guys, if anybody would like to stay there, then here's a 10% off, or maybe not discount. If you want to be the first people who stay here, then we'll make sure that you're treated to a bottle of bubbly on arrival, something like that. I'd be interested to just see, mods, if you're in the room, just give us a little flash if you're in the room. Me and Manisha. So Misha and Emmanuel, do you have email lists yourselves? Do you use them? And
Yes, I do have email lists. We do build them up, and we do use them to retarget our existing customer. But one point I wanted to make clear, especially with those in the business market, very often you will have somebody booking on behalf of somebody else, and they will actually have the contact detail, or they'll provide the email detail of the person who's actually staying, and they are somebody else who's actually done the booking. So part of our communication would actually say to them that be aware that if you're providing us any of your data or any booking, we will be using that obviously to facilitate the checking detail, but also use it for marketing purposes. However, we respect your privacy and everything else, and if you have, we'll be more than happy to take you off our mailing list. Please click on this. So it's very important to do that, because most of the time it's not them booking for their stay, somebody else booking, and they actually giving the authorization on their behalf, but not realizing that you're going to be using it for marketing purposes. So just make sure you have that somewhere in your communication.
Definitely. Good tip there. Emmanuel, Richard, do you use these lists, and how do you use an email list?
I just thought I'd dive in on email lists because it's worth an entire Clubhouse on its own. I use email lists quite a lot for all sorts of purposes, but it's incredible how you can tailor the email and who it's sent from, and the title and everything else gives you such a massively different response. I just thought it might be good to have somebody who's an expert on emails jump in to this Clubhouse at some point to give advice.
Definitely, I'd love that. I mean, I know Mark will weigh in on it. Emmanuel, how do you use it in your business?
Yeah, and we do a lot with it, and also because, as I mentioned earlier on when I came on on the room originally, about 65% of our booking are just returned and direct bookings. So we open up, a lot of the emails that we send are seasonal bookings, so like holiday bookings. And then what we try to start doing, our system wasn't built for it, so we're kind of playing around with it, but is something Mark gave me an idea of last 24-hour Clubhouse, was to reach out to people on anniversary of their bookings or right about there, because what we're seeing is that there is a lot more family event type of travelers, and those tend to be very recurring. For example, mom's birthday or Mother's Day or those type of things. So a lot of those travelers will tend to come back right around the same time. So just to keep ourselves top of mind, we use it for that as well. And any new properties.
Awesome. I mean, guys, we've reached 4:30, so Mark is now back in the room. So in the next few seconds, I'm just going to hand across to the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Simpson. Just before we do, obviously, I mean, I've got another 12 tips, which if anybody is interested in those 12 tips, what I'm going to do, I am going to put these onto a PDF so we can share these tips for everybody in the room. But to get a copy of that, what I'm going to ask you to do is just take a picture of the room, go and share it on Facebook or on Instagram, one of the two. Take a picture to share it and tell people to come and join this room to take us home now. We've got 3.5 more hours of hospitality and Airbnb with Mr. Simpson here. And if, you know, just share it on the social media channels, take that picture and send it to me or tag me in on Instagram, and I will send you the PDF as soon as it is ready. Thank you very much, guys, for today, and I'll hand over to Mark.
Thank you, Liam. So just a quick check. Can everybody hear me? Okay, just tap the microphone if you can hear us. All right, Liam, I just want to say thank you so much for that amazing stint. Filled in for Ryan, who, as happens, life happened, and so Liam stepped up and did a massive stint there. So I really do appreciate it. But we are now at 4:30 p.m. in the UK, 5:30 in Central Europe, and whatever time it is all over the world. And that means that we are in the final 3.5 hours to go. So we're going to do a big reset. I want everybody to get loose, get ready, because it's going to be, you're going to need to help us bring this home. I have been, since doing the school run, and whilst looking after a 2-year-old who chased me around the house with a Nerf gun, I have been texting a few people to see if they can come and help us close this room out. Hopefully they can reach it and get it and come on in, because if so, it will be a lot of fun. But let's just do a very quick reset of what we are doing and why we are doing it. So thank you so much, first and foremost, to everybody that is with us in the Clubhouse. If you could just do me a massive favor, we're hovering around the 50 people mark. Let's see if we can get it over there and get it close to 100 so we can get more attention to this room. If you tap on that little plus button, anybody that you see that's online, anybody that you see that has been online today or is on Clubhouse, just basically just tag them in, tap them in. If you tap them in, they'll get a little notification. And like Liam said, take a little screenshot of this room, post it on your social media, make sure you tag him in, and you'll get a copy of those amazing tips, some really good tips in there. We are doing this to help hospitality owners just like you, either get started or grow your business, scale, survive your business, or in like some cases, some people want to know about selling as well. We've got an array of experts up on the stage with us, people that are in hospitality right now. We've got people that consult and look at the bigger picture. There's so much knowledge up here, and I'm really excited to have the people on the stage with us. And also as well, if you would like to come up as well and join in on the conversation, all you need to do, as many people have done today, and we've got them up on stage, send me a message on Instagram, which is @BoostlyUK, tap my face, and send me a message saying you'd like to come up and how you can help and contribute, and I'll make sure we'll bring you up here. This is being recorded. This is currently live right now, as Liam mentioned, on the Boostly YouTube channel. All you need to do is type in Boostly on YouTube, and you will come and join in. There's a live chat going on right there, which is fantastic. You can submit your questions on there if you don't want to come up onto the stage. But what I wanted to do And I have messaged him to stick around. I know there's been a very brief conversation about cryptocurrency, blockchains, and hospitality, but I want to dive into that topic for the next 30 minutes. And Luca is up on the stage with us. But again, Richard, Emmanuel, JP, Francois, Manisha, and Annie, if you've got anything to add to this, then please do. You can see that I've changed my profile picture. If you scroll down, if you'll see, I'll change my profile picture. It's very NFT, very CryptoPunky, and it's a topic that I'm fascinated in, and it's something that I'm really glad that Luca is going to come us on stage. We are going to delve into this topic a lot more next week for the Boostly podcast. If you want to find out more about that, it's going to be on the 11th of May. It's going to be at 7 p.m. It's going to be live on the Boostly Facebook page. So if you want to find out more, just head to boostly.co.uk/iCal, and you can add the event to your calendar so you don't miss out. That's going to be a real good one. We've got Simon Lehman and Luca's going to come and join us for that. But Luca, if you could just unmute your microphone, please. So again, you may feel like you're having to repeat yourself a lot about these questions, but unfortunately you're pioneering this, you are leading the charge, and this is going to be something that's going to come more and more common. It's going to become more and more in our day-to-day, and hospitality businesses in general are going to move towards this digital currency, this digital money. I've never seen such a Marmite topic, maybe after vaccines, than I do with cryptocurrency, digital money. But I'm really glad to have you in this room. So I'm very aware that you may have talked about topics already, but I think there's going to be a lot of new people joining in. So again, if you could just give a very brief outline to why you decided to dedicate your time to Web 3.0 and digital currency, and then we'll sort of just, I've got some questions for you that I'd love to throw at you.
Well, personally, I like people, I like communities, and I don't like companies. Even if I work in companies and I have a company, etc. I mean, I find that people are better together when they are amongst friends or in communities, and they tend to be like the company environment tends to take not the best out of people. So that's to answer your question, like why I like this. I think it's like part of my character, and it's just I'm just naturally drawn to things which can be done together as people, and I also like to do things on my own. So as I was saying before, but I think it's right, we should repeat this. I see the internet, so this new thing in humanity is just 25 years old, and it's going to be with us for a long time, I guess, has already gone through two eras. So the Web 1 is the 2005 period, more or less. And let's forget, before 95 was really just for nerds. And that period, you could do a website, sell some stuff online, even get some direct bookings. It was peer to peer. People interact with people through a website, right? So the internet was a way for people to find each other and transact a little bit. There was not real money exchange. There were not, PayPal and stuff came at the end of this cycle. And that was amazing for me personally, because I could build my own business. I could travel. I had my booking platform, like Airbnb, but before Airbnb, small scale. And so for me, in my life, the internet made it, opened the possibility to not have a job and go to an office, but travel the world. So basically it was life changing, right? And then 2005 until now, we had the big companies came in, big investments, startups first, and then they grow into monopolies very often. And that's not a nice period for me. I mean, it's been great for the internet. It's been great as a consumer. It is great as a consumer. We are on a platform, Clubhouse. We use Facebook, we use Amazon, Google, Airbnb. It is beautiful from the user point of view, right? But from a maker point of view, from an entrepreneur point of view, I don't know. There's this narrative in which you build a startup and you become the next big thing. But statistically, this is not going to happen. Statistically, if you do a startup, it's going to fail, or it's going to become like they call them zombie companies, and it's a horrible way to call them, because a company is something which just works. While in the startup to monopoly narrative, you have to make it big or go home, right? And I never liked this thing. I never really understood it, and of course, my own experience was bad because I basically lost my business. I had to reinvent myself, open a startup, and then work on the platforms, work on Airbnb, on Booking, etc. And maybe because my previous experience was so good, I had the feeling very early on that that was not going to end well. When you give all the power to a platform, and this platform is a company which is driven by profit, and profit itself is not a bad thing, but the dynamic is money machines. So these corporations are there to make money, and then they share the money with the people working in the company and with investors, right? So this kind of hierarchical structure, investors first, users later, doesn't end well for the user, especially for the supply side, right? In our case, this has been like very apparent at the beginning of COVID, when Airbnb decided that our money wasn't our money, and they gave it back to the host, to the guest, right? And that's not the worst part. The worst part is that we do not own anything on the internet today. Web 2 is the web where we are renting. We are all renting. The only thing we own, the only asset we actually own, is the domain name, right? Any other account we have online as a business, Airbnb, Booking, Amazon, whatever we have, is for rent. For rent, it means that it can be taken away from us anyway, or it can become ineffective because of an algorithm change. If you are a YouTuber and YouTube decides that your content is not good, you go from 10,000 visits a day to 0, or maybe you're even the platform, right? If a customer in Airbnb decides that your CO2 detector is a camera and you're spying on them, Airbnb may close your account without even going through due process, right? So we are renting, and it's been fine for a while. It always starts very nicely because they attract the supply side. They need hosts, so hosts are traded very well. And then the fight becomes about the guest. And we've seen this happening in the last 4 or 5 years, when it's been clear to all of us that we were not anymore as a supply side. We were not treated as well as before, and the guest was the one who was like on top stage, right? And that means lower margins for us. It means less security, etc., etc., which is fine. I mean, I'm not waiting and crying about this. Business is business. You want to do it, good. Otherwise, stay home and get a job, right? I'm perfect with that. But I want to give a positive spin of this. It's gonna get better for us, because we are entrepreneurs. We want to do things. We're gonna create things. We want to work with people, but we want to do this also because we want to be free, and especially in the vacation rental space, freedom is an important fact, right? It's a non-corporate, or it's like less corporate than other industries. It's more friendly. If you go to a conference, you're not going to be with suit and ties. You can talk to everyone. Like the top guys are going to be very friendly to you. I imagine in Wall Street or in a finance conference, you're going to have superstars. So the freedom part, the human part of our industry speaks for what we actually want from this job, basically, right? We don't want only to make money. We want to be in a nice environment, right? And so Web3 is great for us because it's the internet of communities, the web of communities, right? And by community, I mean that we as entrepreneurs can decide to build something like Airbnb, like Booking, like any other huge company, and actually succeed this time. And I won't get into the mechanic of this, but basically, because of cryptocurrencies, we can coordinate better. It's much cheaper and faster to coordinate, right? And I'm experiencing this with our project Trips. We built a very big community right now. It's growing really fast. No one is paid. There's no managers. There's no salaries. But we are providing value to each other, right? And we're learning too at the same time. So the platform is going to be just the last thing on top of it. right? The booking platform, I mean. And so it's great news for all of us. The one thing I have to say, it's very hard to explain. It was really hard to explain the internet to somebody who had never been online, right? Because they would ask you, what can you do on the internet? Well, you can look through a web page. Oh, it's like a newspaper, right? Yeah, but it's on the screen. Right, okay. You can send emails, right? Well, it's like a fax. Yeah, but you can send many and it's cheaper. Yeah, okay, I got the fax, right? Very hard to explain. You have to experience the web to understand it. And for the Web3, it's the same thing. You can read books, you can follow YouTubers, you can listen to what I'm saying today. It's not going to really help. You have to go online, download a wallet, get some crypto, $10, $100. I'm not talking about investments here, right? Just get some crypto and start playing with it. After you've done this process, then you have built your mental model where all the rest can stick. Because whatever I'm going to tell you now is just going to slide on your brain and go away. You don't have any reference points probably to understand what I'm saying. And this is not because you don't have the necessary technical knowledge. It's not about technical knowledge. You need to visualize something, right? And once you do it, it's easy to visualize, and then everything makes sense, right? So I can't stop saying, just try this thing. Go on your browser, download MetaMask, it's a wallet, save your seed words, which is your password in a way, get some crypto somewhere, very little amount, and then start playing with it. First step for positioning yourself into understanding Web3. And today we can safely say this thing is going to happen. It's going to probably happen sooner than we were thinking. And your choice is, am I going to be on top of this wave, or am I going to be like on the sidelines and come on the wave when it's calmer? Or in some cases, am I going to be crushed by this wave in the same way as many people have been crushed, many companies have been crushed when the internet came and they didn't adapt on time.
So fascinating. Thank you very much for such a detailed explanation. And I would love to get like a feel of the room. This is very a Clubhouse question right now. And just like I did earlier, and we'll do it with the mods and we'll do it with everybody in the audience. Now, I want to know who in some way, shape or form is currently invested in cryptocurrency or know about cryptocurrency. So if this is you, all I would love for you to do, raise your hand. So basically tap the raise your hand button. Don't worry, I'm not going to bring you on stage. I just want to get a feel for the room. If you are, just raise your hand. And like I said, I'm not going to bring you up. I just want to have a feel for who is. And again, if you're tuning in on YouTube, just leave a yes crypto, because it's an important one to state, because this hospitality, as Luca has said, is going to be affected by what we're talking about. Now, it may not be 2021. It may not be 2022, but it is going to happen. And everything that I'm going to achieve with this today, and thank you for everybody that has done. So it's got a good feel of the room, got a good amount of people. Well, everything that we're doing and everything that we're trying to achieve and help you with is going to help you not in the short term. The tips that Leon gave is fantastic for bookings right now, but in the medium and the long term as well. So Luca, the first question that I want to just throw back to yourself. Obviously, you talked about MetaMask, which is a Chrome extension that you can do, that you can go get started on. But what's your views on some of the most even simpler programs to get on? For example, Coinbase has been in the news recently. It's a crypto platform that you can change fiat into cryptocurrency. It's currently had its IPO. It's currently been in the news. What are your views on companies like that? Do you use them? Do you endorse them? Or do you have a different view?
We need those companies, at least for now, to get your dollars, euros, or whatever you have into crypto, right? And so they are the on-ramps into crypto. And that's it. And after you've done that, you don't really need them anymore. Like, of course, I suppose that, if you get into this thing and you're going to buy tokens, you're probably not going to buy one and forget. You're going to buy many. So it's the on-ramp and off-ramp at the same time, right? You could maybe earn some tokens because you help a company or a project in the Web3 space, and then you want to sell it for dollars. You need to go through these guys. So They are the gatekeepers between fiat. We call it like fiat money, is like currencies, and crypto, right? And they are an important part of the whole ecosystem. They are centralized. That means they're just normal companies. One thing which I can say is that if you go on Coinbase and you start buying Bitcoin or stuff, and then you buy and sell, and you stay there, you won't learn basically anything, because this is not like Coinbase is not Web3. Okay, it's a bank selling you crypto. Okay, so when you start really learning and understanding what's going to happen is when you are on your browser and you install MetaMask, right? What is MetaMask? So today, when you open an account on a new website, they ask you for your login and password, right? And then they own your account. So if the company shuts down, the account is gone. If they close your account, the account is gone. So you are opening an account on each and every website. Or maybe you use Facebook Connect or Google Connect, and then Google or Facebook owns the account, right? Now, MetaMask is basically an account. Okay, I'm going to try to keep it really simple. You build your account on MetaMask, and you own this account. Okay, your login and password is not an email and a password. It's 12 magic words. And I'm going to use the word magic because it's maybe, it's easier. So those words are a private key, are a password, right? Now, you create an account with the MetaMask, and then you connect to, let's say, the Airbnb or Web3, whatever that's going to be, right? You don't need to open an account with them. You just say, okay, Airbnb Web3, use my MetaMask account. And then you give access. It's easier. So those words are, you connect to this in basically 5 seconds instead of 2 minutes to open an account. And then with the same MetaMask account, you go to 1,000 other websites. And you never open a new account. Okay, so this is the first thing. So you take away the account ownership from them and you bring it to yourself. That's the core aspect of this. And that changes everything. Because suppose that your account in Airbnb is actually yours and you decide to stop working with them. You take with you all your reviews, you take with you all your bookings, you take with you all your listings, right? Because they are all connected to your own account and not to their account. So if today I have to build my listings in Booking and in Airbnb and in VRBO, and then I have to use some service to synchronize them, in Web3, I build my listings on the internet. Okay, and I'm not going to say on the blockchain. It doesn't matter. The blockchain is part of the internet. So I build my listings on the internet. They are connected to my own account. Nobody can stop this. Nobody can take it away. And I'm going to tell, okay, Booking Web3, you can use my listings. Or maybe you can use half of my listings. Okay, Airbnb and Web3, you can use my listings. And then you say, okay, you can't use them anymore. And then the RBO the same. And your reviews are connected to the listings, which are connected to you. So the OTA becomes much thinner. Their job becomes to bring you customers, maybe to bring you a better interface, but they don't own you. You are a citizen of the web. You're not anymore a renter. You're not anymore. Okay, let's go there. It's like when the Americas were discovered, or we Europeans discovered them, and Europe was in a feudal system where people had no rights. There was no rule of law, and then some of them decided to go to this new continent where rule of law was at the base of everything, right? And things went pretty well. It's the same process. Today in Web2, we are in a feudal environment where there are a few kings who own everything. They are incredibly rich, and we own nothing. We get some money from transactions, but we don't own much in this land. So we're going to go to Web3 as a new land. Sorry if I'm becoming a bit biblical here, but that's actually the best way to explain it for me. And on that new land, we own our own stuff, right? And Mark, you were talking about Ready Player One. That's maybe a very good entry point for Web3. So Ready Player One is a book and a movie from Spielberg. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's very enjoyable. So if you look at the movie, it's like a metaverse, right? So basically, the guy puts virtual reality glasses and headsets, and then they live in an internet world, right? Very dystopic, of course. But the thing is that there's a war because the company which is running this is going to be purchased by another company, and every ownership, every avatar, every sword, every car, everything in that universe belongs to a company. So the people do a revolution because they want to get control of the land, right? Of this universe. Well, in Web3, there are already new places like this, but you own your stuff. You own your sword, you own your avatar, you own your name, everything. So if Ready Player One was made on Web3, there would have been no need for Watermark because there was no company to own the stuff, right? And I think this changes really, really everything. I mean, and that's why it's so good news. Like, guys, we have discovered a new continent. We can leave and we can go to build our own stuff. How could it be better than that?
Luca, I love. Sorry, Mark, if you don't mind.
No, go for it. Please do. I really want a conversation around this, so thank you.
Yeah, I love. First of all, it's funny because as an Italian, I think it's just part of our nature to make it biblical and make it very kind of like heavy. And it's funny because you guys have even a picture of the Pope on your website. So I was just laughing going through your thing. So pretty much the idea of Trip is to become a replacement, but then we will still use, for example, our property management softwares to run everything. The thing is really you're aiming for us to take back ownership of our data and just keep all the information to ourselves. If I'm making it kind of like a long story short.
Well, for a few years, 5 or 10 years, there's going to be, there's not a date where Web3 shuts off and we have Web2 shuts down, and then we have Web3. In the same way, there are still Web1 websites around, right? So as long as there's accounts owned by companies and the data is siloed, so the availabilities are in their hands and the listings are in their hands, we're going to need to synchronize them through PMS. But in a futuristic Web3 only situation, and by that time we're going to have probably Web4 and who knows what is it. But in that situation, no, because the availabilities are only in your hands and everybody can read them, and the listings are only in your hands and everybody can read them. So you won't need synchronization because the data is not closed, data is open, right? All this fragmentation which we are going through today is because every corporation takes our data and they keep it for themselves. They control the access to the data. So that's why a PMS, a channel manager, needs an API, permission API, and say, okay, please give me the availabilities. And so they are also under the control of these corporations in a way. I don't know if that answers your question.
No, yeah, it does. It does. Have you looked into, or do you know anybody that is looked into creating a coin with the intention of purchasing vacation rentals? So almost making like a real estate fund that is based on a coin that people can then buy into, which is kind of like a idea that it's kind of forming as you were talking. It's almost like a timeshare kind of model, but with the coin that is then attached to a property.
Yeah, there's first, this space is exploding with ideas and experiments and projects, right? So we're not doing that part. Somebody else is doing it. There's a company called Real T or Real IT, which is purchasing houses in the States, I think in the Detroit area. Yeah. And you just buy a few coins and you own a little bit on the house, and then they rent it. They rent it for, residential. And you earn, so the coin is a value connected to the house, and then the rent is sent to the token holders. So you have, 10% in coins of that house, and you also get 10% of the rent. So this is happening. And I'm pretty convinced that because the technology is better, we are going to be able to form, let's say, somebody could buy, you could say, I want to buy a great villa in Italy or 10 villas but I don't have access to money. So why don't we collect the money and then we tokenize it, right? And then I want to be part of this, and I'm gonna simply buy €100 of this project, even if it's €1,000,000 project. I own a very small percentage, and then I'm gonna share with you the income, right? So yeah, that's gonna happen for sure. It's happening already. It's gonna come in our industry too. And this is basically just this one is one idea any one of us could take and make a business for the next 10 years in vacation rentals, because nobody has done it.
Yeah, I love it. And I think really that's the main advantage of this whole technology. And to people in the room that are listening, maybe this is your first round through the lingo, it kind of gets overwhelming at the beginning, but I've been kind of playing around in it for the last couple of months, and you start kind of understanding, and it really makes a lot of sense, because it's really taking the power back. It's a very Robin Hood kind of movement of just like bringing the power back to the people and allowing us to keep all of our data, which, I mean, all the marketing people have been saying for so long, right? I know Mark has talked about this, to never build your house on somebody else's land, and this is, you're really making your land very hardly accessible by taking it to this technology. So I love it.
Well, and as well, people may be thinking in the audience and people listening now on YouTube or Facebook or on the replay thinking, well, this isn't going to happen anytime soon. This WebPoint 3.0, I'll be long gone by the time it comes around. But you just got to look at what Luca has done in 2021. He actually sold a vacation on the NFT with this digital currency. Can you just talk about that, Luca, about how you did it, how you worked it, how you explained it, and just a little bit of how it worked?
Well, this was an experiment, and it went okay. It didn't go exactly as we hoped, but basically the idea was to experiment with new ways to sell bookings, right? So in this case, we took a week in a villa in Ibiza, Spain, for it was a €5,200. It was maybe 6,400 on booking, but because of no commissions, the host accepted 5,200. We made an NFT. Basically, we made a contract, right? And then somebody bought the NFT, and now this person owns this contract for this week, and they can come to the villa. Sorry, go to the villa, because I'm not in Ibiza, unfortunately. They can go to the villa and spend the week. They could sell the NFT to somebody else, maybe for a higher price. There's a marketplace for that, right? Well, that's the gist of it, right? The gist of it. You instead of booking and getting a contract between you and the owner, and then applying a cancellation policy, you book the NFT, and now you own this week, and you do what you want with it, right? And the interesting thing is you can sell it. So it opens theoretically a lot of possibilities. And I'm not saying this is going to happen, this is the future, etc. This is just an experiment, but the range of possibilities is really huge. For instance, from our point of view, if your bookings are liquid, right? So if you can sell them to somebody who can resell them easily, then maybe somebody will buy your bookings for 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. Why not? Maybe an investor or a speculator is going to come to you and say, okay, sell me 2024 for a good price, and you're going to get the money immediately. And then this speculator is going to try to sell it higher. It's one of the many possibilities, right? Maybe somebody can buy a booking and then give it, as a gift, send the NFT to somebody as a gift. Or maybe people will book without thinking so much, no refund. One of the big problems we have is that everything has to be refundable, especially now after COVID. But if you have a villa, it's not like a hotel. Refundable can really be hurtful, right? If they cancel a month before and you don't get somebody else, it's really bad. So maybe people will book that villa with an NFT, and because they can resell it, there's going to be a market. Or maybe they're going to swap it with other villas on a NFT exchange website. Maybe people will book much without thinking too much or without expecting refundable bookings anymore, right? And there's a whole list of potential things. I don't want to go too deep into this because at the moment they are all dreams, but they do make sense. So with this experiment, we wanted to see, how this goes. And in this specific case, nobody bought the NFT on the open market because, how many people own crypto, how many people are able to buy NFT and actually want to go on Ibiza in that week, in that villa. Very few. But a returning customer from the manager called the manager to book, and the manager told me, why don't you buy the NFT instead? And he bought the NFT, right? And so that was a success in a way. And now we're going to launch another one on Lake Como with Simone. I think few of us here, Richard for sure know Simone. Beautiful house on the lake. And we're going to do something similar. But this NFT is going to be from the 1st of June to the end of September, but it's worth 5 nights. So people will buy the NFT, and then when they decide exactly when to come, they're going to contact the owner, Simone, and say, okay, I want to come those days. Of course, if it's not available, they cannot use it. And if it's available, they can use it. So we're going to keep experimenting the whole summer with this stuff. And our target is to learn about this. One incredible thing which happened, but this can be a bit too much crypto for here, is that we in crypto, we believe that this NFT, being the first NFT booking in history, is going to have a post-sale value. It's like a news stamp, right? One of these historical stamps. And we decided to buy it from the person who stays at the villa, and we collect the money to collect about $2,400 Richard chipped into. And after this person stays, we're going to make an offer, buy it and keep it. Hopefully it's going to increase in value in the years, especially if the NFT booking becomes a thing, right? And again, these experiments, and the people who bought it are not friends who know each other. It's we set up a safe. So a safe is like a wallet where a certain number of people are needed to move the money. It's like 6 people out of 9 are needed to move the money. And so we created this wallet with 9 people, of which I know maybe 4. The others, I don't even know the name. I know the address, right? The public address. I mean, not the home address, but like the string, right? And we send the money. Everybody sent the money there. And now this money is managed by a DAO. That's how we call it, a decentralized autonomous organization. And, well, I don't know. I know it already sounds crazy, but this is working. We are now able as communities, and let me go back at the beginning. We could here decide to manage, I don't know, the marketing money for are we in a short-term rental club here or in Mark's booth?
No club. We're just in a hospitality room, but go for it.
All right. So let's say that we make this project here, Mark, something for the community, like not your own business. And we say, okay, let's collect some money to do marketing, and everybody puts $100, right? And then it's not managed by you or by me, but it's managed by a group of people. And then the money is spent to bring more people in, and everybody's got advantages, etc. Right? So
and the value raise is 14%.
Simon, our Elon Musk says, Simon bought some of our tokens exactly as Elon Musk bought bitcoins. Tesla bought bitcoins. The price went up. So so basically, just to stop it here, I don't want to keep taking too long. It's the opportunities and the ideas are very, they're popping up every day. So it's really exciting to be in this space. And I promise most of you, if you got into this thing, it's just going to be very interesting, and a lot of fun. And it's going to be a very, very fun way to liberate ourselves, basically.
I love how when Luca's talking and he says, I won't go too much into it, I don't want to go too crypto, but then goes full crypto. And it's amazing.
Yeah.
I pride myself in that I always want to be the stupidest person in the room. And I just enjoy learning. And I have learned so much on this topic from you and just delving into this subject. I know Liam spoke about this last night when I was asking about people's passions outside of hospitality. He said he loves to learn. This is something that has taken over my life, just like E, over the last 3 months, and thoroughly enjoyed it and really interesting. And it's great to see people in an industry that I'm so closely attached to thinking differently. And I think, to put it in most simplistic terms, if you compare the villa and say it was bought for €5,000, that will always be worth €5,000. But as Luca alluded to, is that by doing it through this way, is that what could be right now valued at €5,000 if they keep hold of that and they hodl, as they call it, keep hold of that NFT, keep hold of that digital currency, it could double, triple, whatever in value. It could be worth more. So it's really exciting, really interesting. And like I mentioned last night, as just a throwaway comment, for the short term, if you suddenly turn around this year and say, yeah, we'll accept payments via whatever it may be, Bitcoin, however, just the local press around that would be really, you would get in the newspaper, you would get word of mouth around that, because it's something new, it's something different. All you got to do is go onto something like Reddit or go on some of these channels and you'll just see coffee shops now in wherever just accepting Dogecoin, because it's the current thing, because Elon Musk is talking about it and whatnot, and they're getting the press around it. So I'm not saying go all in and totally change your business model, but definitely pay attention to it. It is fantastic. It is fascinating. Luca, I appreciate you coming in and sharing this. And if you want to find out more, please do check out his profile. Go check out the Trips community. The next question I want to ask you, Luca, and I don't have to take too much of your time because I do appreciate it. You hit upon something that is really key to me, and you talked about community. Now, you have built a community around this. Now, you have decided to build the majority of your community on a channel called Discord. Now, at a time where I think most of the people in here have a Facebook group, why did you use Discord to build out your community on there? What is the fascination with that platform? Because it is something that I have looked at, but I can never really fully get my head around it. If you could just sort of talk about building your community on that platform instead of something like Facebook, so to speak.
Well, mostly because, we tried. We have Facebook, we have, Twitter, Instagram, and everything else. So we tried all of them. We are on all of them. But today, crypto-minded people are on Discord for some reason. They went there, and Discord is much more adaptable. You can set up bots to moderate. You can create many channels. In every channel is different subjects. You can send money. This is incredible. If I have to send you some tokens, could be Bitcoin, could be our own Trips tokens, I have to write @Mark send 1 Trips, and you get it, right? Instantly for free. And so we're using this system to reward people who help us. And it really allows you to build a community and let the community run the show. So we passed from 600 to 6,000 people into this community, right? And today, I'm not running it. There's some guys I've never met in my life. I've never seen their face because they use anime, pictures. They are running the community. They took over, right? And they feel that they have power. And these are very young people. Some are probably not even 18. I don't know. Some from India, some from England, some from... And they're running this thing. They understand the value into this. They organize trivias. They organized an airdrop the other day. They collected $400, and they threw these dollars. They gave it to one of the guys in Trips, and then they invited people to come in. They asked questions, and who answered the question got money, etc., etc. They've done everything without me. This is not going to happen in Facebook, right? And Facebook actually is going to close probably your page because you are sending money around the world, and it's probably illegal, right? So. And after this happened, some Indonesian group saw about us, and 8,000 people came in one night. We are still dealing with absorbing them, right? So it's the best, to answer your question, so far is the best community building tool. It can get better because it's centralized. It belongs to Microsoft now, so Microsoft could shut down anything. Best thing is always the old 2000 forum, right? Where you actually install it yourself. But unfortunately, this kind of technology hasn't really kept up with the web as it is today. So it's a compromise, it's a trade-off. But yeah, it's the best tool for building communities, and it's working amazingly well.
That's fascinating. And I think the key to that, right at the very start, I asked you the question, why Discord? And you hit the nail on the head, is that your people are already using Discord. And I think when it comes to building a community or choosing your social media platform that you are going to focus on to spread the word of your business, you go to where your customers or your clients or your peoples are. So it's really key. So Luca, again, from me, fantastic. Thank you so much for dedicating 45 minutes to talking about cryptocurrencies and all those. And if you missed it, or if you want to go back on it, it will be on the YouTube channel. So hit Boostly YouTube. It's going to be recorded. It'll be there forever. And we're going to delve more into this topic next Tuesday. Again, which is Tuesday, the 12th of May, myself, Simon, and Luca, this is your reminder, gents, that we're going to be doing it. So again, thank you very much. So I do want to change tact, and we've got some cool people in the room, and some people that have joined us. Some people are joining us for the first time, and it'll be really cool now to just do a little intro for the people that have just joined. So if you are with us and if you're free to talk, just flash that microphone for me. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So we'll go with
Mark, I'm so sorry. My tag just came up. I just wanted to listen in. Big hands for you and doing this with all your moderators. I'm going to have to leave again. I have another call. So it's been awesome what you did. So I'm sorry I have to step out.
No worries. We're going to be here for another, 2 and a bit hours. But thank you very much.
I'll come back. Okay.
Enjoy. Okay, so let's go to Ellie. Ellie.
Hi.
Hello.
Thanks, Mark.
Absolute pleasure. Please introduce yourself.
Everybody. I'm excited to kind of do a shameless plug about the summit that's coming up next week, where I'm going to be talking. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
about all things interior designing. I'm super pumped about it because, I've been doing this for so long, and interior designing has suddenly become my jam. I like to think that I have a sixth sense, in the middle of my forehead, that an eye is looking into, my clients' souls and just radiating all the things that they want, like some kind of HGTV magic. So that's what I do, and founder of Home Slice Stays, manage luxury vacation rentals, and happy to be here.
Fantastic. Yeah, and so the summit next week is being hosted by Mr. Ryan Luke, who has been here for a lot of the time over the last 24 hours. If you want to find out more, go to Boostly, boostly.co.uk/STR. It's a 5-day summit. Sean, who is also up on the stage with us, Ellie, myself, we've got Chris, we've got other people that have been in through this room. We're going to be talking about lots of different topics. I'm going to be talking about direct bookings, and really looking forward to that. So if you want to put your name down, it's 100% free, no charge. We're all giving up our time again. It's going to be a really insightful week. I'm looking forward to it. Again, it's Boostly, boostly.co.uk/STR. Put your name down, put your email, and I believe it's going to be on Zoom, but Ryan's got all of the information on that. All right, so we also have Manisha. Hello, Manisha. I don't believe I have spoken to you since being in the room. Maybe not. If you're with us still, please tap your microphone. We've got JP and Emmanuel. If you could do me a favor, I know you jumped in with the crypto chat, but just give us a super quick intro about where you are in the world, the model that you're doing, and give the podcast a shout out as well if you are with us. He's not with us either. It always happens when I give someone a big shout out. All right, if you're with me, flash those microphones before I go back onto a topic. All right, Mr. Sean Rocky G, hope you're doing well. First and foremost, happy birthday for the weekend. Hope you had a good one.
Thank you, sir.
And so
are we just doing a round of introductions, little something?
Well, let's have a little chat. So obviously you jumped in last night. Thank you. I had to leave because it was very late my time when you came in. So hope you're doing good. Is there any topic in particular that you would like to talk about? Anything that's fresh of mind? Obviously you've got the YouTube channel, and any new videos that you're planning on doing. Anything you'd like to talk about? Obviously you did a podcast interview recently with Mr. Fearless Kyle. For his podcast, which was a nice little insight into where you got started on all of this. But is there any topics to mind that you'd like to talk about?
Well, Kyle was fun. That was a fun podcast. Last night I did bring up a video that I've been editing and working on about 10 tips to be a better host. Just things that we can all do better. And one that I shared with people that I was particularly excited about is I was going through all the old stuff that we used to, that we do here. Like I was going through all of our processes and just everything. And so I was like, oh, our checkout is pretty damn cool. We should talk about that. So one of the things that I gave away last night is like just a tip from this video, is a sneak peek, and I'll say it again this morning, is when somebody leaves, I've been teaching our hosts, people in my course, and then of course internally here on our team, what we do is we tell people why we love hosting, and then we thank them for making that possible for us. So for an example, let's say somebody checks out and you're going to send them like your thank you message for staying. It'd be like, hey, John, thank you so much for staying with us. It was a great pleasure. And in this example, not mine, but a different student's, he'd say, when my wife lost her job 2 years ago, we started hosting on Airbnb just to be able to pay our mortgage. But that's turned into this wonderful opportunity where we get to meet people from all around the world, people like you. So I just want to say thank you for booking with us and making it possible for us to do this every day, and to be able to, of course, make our mortgage by sitting down and sharing a coffee with interesting people from all around the world. So we'll look forward. Of course, you get a phone call. So then, of course, you wish them well, and that's a thing that you guys can do after somebody checks out in order to become more so unforgettable. And that is it. I'm done speaking on that tip.
No, good. No, really good tip. Okay, so please do go and check out Sean's channel. It's a fantastic YouTube. Thousands of people subscribe to it. Whenever he puts up a video, so many of the community that he has built, they pile in, and again, it's a great place. I enjoy watching the videos, and I know a lot of people do as well. And definitely is one to definitely check out. And the podcast that we mentioned was Fearless Kyle. Go and check that out. I did a little interview with him a couple of weeks back. It's really insightful. Hopefully, we're going to get him in this room at some point over the course of the next couple of hours, and hopefully as well for the final hour there's a special guest, hopefully, fingers crossed, going to make it in here. They're going to try their best, so please make sure you stick around for that. So I've just had a message to say that they've been pinging so many people into the room. They've actually been banned from Clubhouse from pinging people, so this is where I need your help now. We're coming up to the final couple of hours. We've just touched over 50 people. The maximum amount we've had in this room, I believe, is about 150. So if you could do us a favor, let's just try and get back to that lovely little 100 mark so we can spread the word about this. We've been going nearly, 20 hours? 22, 20 some hours? It's a crazy amount. I can't even think. So I need your help. Just press that little plus button and just invite anybody. I'm doing it right now. Anybody that you see online, anybody that you can ping into the room, let them know that we're here. And also as well, just share that little screen grab on Instagram. And Liam, like I said, he said he's going to send some PDFs of his little tips as well. So okay, so let's just do this. We've talked a lot about hospitality, a lot about hospitality. We talked a lot about business, and we've talked a lot about all that jazz. But I want to do, just for the next, say 35 minutes, maybe a little bit more, I want to find out more about our experts that we have on stage with us. So Liam, Richard, JP, Sean, Chris, E and Ellie, if you're still with us. I know Manisha, she's got a phone symbol, which is a lovely little Clubhouse feature now, so it must mean that she's on the phone. But for those that are with us, I'm going to come and ask this question, and I've got a couple of questions to find out more about you and your tastes and your likes. I always love these questions because we find out so much more about you and the person, which obviously is the passion behind the business. So we'll start with Richard, and I'm really looking forward to finding out the answer to this question, and we'll go JP, Sean, Chris, and E and Ellie. So Mr. Richard Vaughan, the question I have to you was, what was the first ever concert or music festival that you went to? What is your jam? What is your jam?
Oh, Jesus Christ. That would be Mud at Torquay Town Hall.
Mud at Torquay Town Hall. You don't have to reveal the year if you don't want to, but what sort of decade are we talking here?
I think we're talking about 1973.
That
would be Tiger Feet.
Love it. Love it. Love it. So a Torquay boy, grew up in Torquay.
I did grow up in Turkey, and I went to Saudi Arabia, and then I went to Scotland, and then I went to Italy, Switzerland, London, and back to Turkey.
Amazing, fantastic. Love that answer. JP, coming to you. Yorkshire boy, right? JP, are you there? What was your first concert or music festival that you went to?
Can you hear me okay? I'm getting a poor signal. Oh, there you go. First concert, right. I remember going to Justified, which was Justin Timberlake's tour. And although it was probably not the first one, it was the first one to blow my mind with what the guy could do and probably can still do. And then, I think Justin Timberlake arena, first proper gig, 16 years of age, just going, oh my God, this guy can perform and he can sing and he can dance.
There you go.
And he was killing it back then, 2001 time, if you remember.
I do remember it well, and I actually went on that tour. An ex-girlfriend of mine, who was a massive Justin Timberlake fan, dragged me on that one, which is interesting. And obviously, you are a performer as well, so awesome answer. Love that, Mr. Sean Rashidis. What was your first concert that you went to?
My very first concert was Story of the Year at the Rave in Milwaukee.
Wow. So what type of music? What is this band? I've never ever heard of them.
You don't know Story of the Year?
No, my
The
friend.
stars will cry the blackest tears tonight. Like all that emo stuff. You don't jam that?
Well, I'm afraid they never made it over the pond. If they did, I totally missed it. But I love it, and I love that we got a little singing session as well. Which is
all the guys wear like black eyeliner and like have like spike bracelets and stuff like that.
And that was you. Was that you in the teenage years, teenage Sean?
Well, I had like a 6-month stint at least.
There you go, fantastic. Love it. Love a bit of emo. Chris, if you are there, I don't think you are. I don't know if you are. Oh, yeah, you are.
I am. I'm here.
So a boy growing up in Newcastle.
JP, did you not? Well, I was just going to say to JP, when you were at that Justin Timberlake concert, did you not see me dancing next to him?
Do you know what? I thought you looked familiar, mate, but you've aged quite a bit since then, so I thought maybe not.
No, my first one was Newcastle University, Jamiroquai.
Oh, fantastic.
Brilliant. And then the best one was REM, the Monster Tour in Hull. I watched that as well. There were two great ones. I haven't been to one since, I don't think.
That's amazing. Jamiroquai is one of my all-time favourites.
Oh, he's a legend.
All right,
and I don't know him, Mark.
I would have to say that the most fun one was my first 3 days Ultra Music Festival down in Miami, 2012. Had a bunch of friends flying from Amsterdam, and it was just 4 lads just dancing and doing inappropriate things for
party animal.
Yes.
Party.
Yeah, and then I realized the aftermath of that was just like a week in bed. My body just hated me and being deeply dehydrated from just a diet of hot dogs and yellow Gatorade for 3 days. But great fun for sure.
Absolutely. What we would love right now to have be able to go to a festival like that. All right, Ellie. First music concert festival that you remember, what would that be?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe we're doing this. I'm really embarrassed, but I don't know if you know this song. I was like 10. That one? Do you know it?
Amazing, Hanson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing, just wow. I love it. I would have thought we'd have had a Mbop reference.
They were so cute. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I can dig that. I can see that. I love it. All right, Manisha, if you are still with us, what have you got that is different to the rest? If you are with us, I don't know if you are or not. I can't tell. No, go in. Gone. All right, we'll never know. But the next thing, now, if you thought that question was a bit crazy, this is something that is very close to my heart. I mentioned this last night. It's movies. So we'll come back to you, Richard. Now, the question that I want to ask isn't the first movie. It's your go-to movie So one movie that you can watch time and time again. Doesn't matter if you see it on TV or it's on Netflix or wherever it may be. What is your go-to? And I'll give you mine while you're thinking, Richard. I'll give you mine. Mine's Wedding Crashers. And the reason being is that when me and my buddy we travelled around the world in 2006 to 2008, and this is before the times of where you've got internet on your phone and all that jazz. We bought in Thailand a very knockoff version of Wedding Crashers on a dodgy DVD at one of these markets, and wherever we went, wherever we travelled, it always managed to find its way onto a DVD as you're sitting in these beach bars and whatnot. And we just watched that so many times over those 2 years. We would quote every line from the movie. Hilarious. It's our go-to, and I still watch it now to the day. So Richard,
wow.
what is yours?
Yeah, maybe I got a bunch of personalities here. So once upon a time, it would have been Blade Runner. That's been surpassed now by Gladiator.
Nice.
So it's going to be Gladiator.
A quality, very good movie.
Richard. Quality movie.
I like this, and this is where we do find out a lot about the people as well. So I do love this. And again, those on YouTube, I can see everybody is jumping in and commenting on Facebook. I'm getting some lovely little things come in, and on the WhatsApp group as well. So please do, if you're tuning in with us live, do share yours as well. I do like to see them, and please do keep sharing them. All right, JP, your go-to movie.
Lost you at the end, mate. Hopefully you can hear me.
Again, yeah, I can hear
you. Yeah, you got me. Go-to film has to be Dumb and Dumber. Life gets serious, doesn't it? And then you watch that film and you remember it's just one big joke. I'm a big Jim Carrey fan, and I think he's become a bit of a weird bloke nowadays. Quite interesting, but back then he was just hilarious. Dumb and Dumber for me.
Oh, fantastic. I love it. Mr. Sean, what's your go-to movie?
Oh, the best movie of all time, Atonement, with Keira Knightley and James McAvoy.
Well, you know what? I did not expect that coming. I thought you were going to bust out something else than that, but that's a fantastic choice. Love that shout. Well done.
The movie is so wonderfully, it's well put together. Even the scoring of the movie will blow your mind if you pay attention to the scoring. But if you're going to ask me, 10 years ago or more, I would have told you Milo and Otis.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, can you go for trilogies next time, Mark?
I'd never have seen that movie. I pride myself that I've seen quite a lot of movies, a lot of movies. And growing up in the countryside, you don't really do much else. But yeah, that is a fantastic show. I will go check that out. Mr. Chris Mom, what is the movie?
So mine is Goodfellas. Love it. Goodfellas.
Good choice.
Yeah, and if I've got more time, then the Godfather trilogy. But Goodfellas is my go-to one, I must admit.
Nice. Did you watch The Irishman? Seeing that these are your big movies.
Yeah, it's good. It's not a touch on Goodfellas, but it was good. Goodfellas is just quality, man.
Yeah,
brilliant movie.
Totally agree. So E is currently on the phone, as we can see. So Ellie, I'm going to come to you. Favorite movie, your go-to movie. What would that be?
I have 3 that I watch all the time because I like movies a lot. I think that, for me, I really love the experience of watching movies, and God, there's so many good ones. But every year I watch The Family Stone around Thanksgiving, the holiday around Christmas, and then I love The Aviator because it's just so crazy about invention and going off the deep end with business.
I like that. Some nice choices. Nice choices, everybody. And in the WhatsApp group and in the YouTube, we've had some really good shouts. So we've had Pulp Fiction. We've had Fight Club. Love Fight Club. Again, some really good ones.
Can I weigh in on this?
Yeah, he is. He's back.
Weighed in on this one, Mark.
Go on then. Go for it.
I'm back. Yeah, I can't resist. I love a movie chat. top movie. Just before we move on to top movie, that Atonement. I just googled the cover of it to check it was the right one that Sean mentioned. My great grandfather is in some of the old war footage, which is in that movie. We spotted. I've never seen the movie, but there's my folks who spotted it, and they use actual real war footage from that. And he was on the ships, so he's actually in that movie.
So cool. So, you're gonna have to send me a screenshot.
I love it. I will do. We only knew it was him because we were all sitting there as a family just going, nah, that can't be. But he's got a tattoo on his forearm which matches, but because they're so skinny in the old footage that we had to really make sure it was, but it fits with the timeline and what he was doing and where the tattoo is. He just looks ever so skinny. So yeah. So movie wise, I'm a sucker for I'm a proper nerd when it comes down to it. I'm a sucker for the old sci-fi stuff. So Aliens with Sigourney Weaver and things like Predator, absolutely love. And then just to really have my fill, I love comedies. Anchorman, I could watch all day, every day. Absolutely love that and pretty much quote it and live by it all the time.
Amazing stuff. Great stuff. I know we've got some amazing people on stage, but I know we've got some fantastic people who are also chilling out in the audience as well. If you do want to come up onto the stage and join in the conversation and share your advice, just send me a message on Instagram. Totally open. As long as you've got something to say, I will gladly showcase you in this room. So all you need to do is send me a message at Boostly UK. And I will get you up here. We're chatting basically hospitality. We're chatting hospitality. It's a 24-hour room. I'm on my second Monster energy drink of the day, so that'll be fun. Trying to go to sleep tonight. But it has been a really good stint from everybody, and I just want to say thank you so much to everybody that has tuned in live. Like I say, we've been streaming this on YouTube. We've been streaming this on Facebook. And obviously in Clubhouse as well. There has been so much advice. There's been so much tips shared, and this all will be turned into a Google Doc. We'll get the full write-up. There are people making notes, so please do stick around. And if you do want to get access to those write-ups and those notes, just send me a quick message on Instagram at Boostly UK, and we will make sure you get that. And if you missed it earlier, between the hours of 11 and 12 in the UK, we had an Instagram expert, one of the UK's leading Instagram experts, come in and share some phenomenal advice on how to make the most of that platform. Oh, excuse me. I just took a big drink of Monster and it's coming back on me now. So anyway, the next question, and this is a question I've had about 7 that I wanted to ask, and we've gone from the sublime to the ridiculous to some real deep diving questions. And the next one I want to ask, and I'm really interested to get some answers from here. And again, if you are not comfortable answering this question, just basically skip it when I come to you to say I can't answer this question. But the question is this, and it's something that I heard on a podcast, and it really got some thoughts going through my mind. So the question, I'm going to go you, Richard, first, and then we'll go JP, Sean, etc. But what's the one thing that your mother or father or guardian or grandparents taught you that has shaped your life or just completely changed your life? So the lessons that you learned from your parents or your guardians or your grandparents when you were growing up that has just completely changed your life. Richard, if you could be so kind to start that off, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, that's a really good question. And as you get older, which I am slowly, it's something you reflect on more, interestingly. So I can pick 3 things, I think, actually. My grandfather, who was a First World War veteran of the trenches and Passchendaele and all that nastiness, his was always, don't complain, son. There's always somebody worse off than you. And don't ever drink your beer out of a dimple glass. It's always got to be a straight glass. So that's my grandfather. My mother was a very independent person who worked her entire life very hard, I think, for very little at the end of it. And she taught me independence, I think, and the capacity to just pick up and run and do your very best. So that was good. My father, on the other hand, They're all dead, by the way, so there's no chance of it coming back on me. My father was one of those people, I suppose, of the old crew where children were seen and not heard. So it taught me to actually spend a lot more time with my kids and involve myself in their lives. So yeah, I think those three things have kind of shaped and molded me as the years have gone on. So
amazing.
There's always somebody worse off than me. Stand on your own 2 feet and pay attention to family life.
I love it. Thank you very much. And I never expected when I asked that question to have one from each, but I love it. Really do love it. JP, feel free to share. So anything that basically you have been, the life lessons that have been taught by, mum, dad, grandparent, whoever it may be.
Yeah, really interesting. So I'm not fortunate enough to have known my grandparents. So all my so-called wisdom, if you like, came from mum and dad. My dad always kind of said, just don't do anything that you don't love. So you got to love what you're doing. And that's kind of where I followed the passion for music and architecture. The two things I loved as a kid. I didn't know it was called architecture. I just used to like drawing and designing buildings. But yeah, you got to love what you're doing was the thing my dad's always said. And I suppose the other one kind of came from my dad as well, which is don't take no, I won't swear, but you know the word, from nobody. Don't take no nonsense from nobody, basically. If, he's kind of so my family are from Sicily. They then migrated to Glasgow, of all places. So I'm the product of my father, who's Scottish, and his father, who's Italian. And I think one thing that the Italians do well is they don't take no nonsense, and they say it as it is. And then if you add in a Glaswegian on top of that, they also don't take no nonsense, and they say it as it is as well. So 2 bits of wisdom there from my dad is love what you do and don't take no nonsense from anyone. There you go.
Fantastic. What a lovely combination that is. Sean, if you are still with us, my friend, same question to you.
Yeah. I've been debating on if I'm going to share or not because I don't really want to kill the mood. I will just say in short, my parents weren't able to give any sort of life advice. So yeah, not really a good childhood. We'll just put it at that.
No, that's okay, buddy. I appreciate you. All right. So Adam, if you are with us, my friend, I know you've jumped in. I don't know if you've heard the question, but basically what we're asking is what life lessons did you pick up from either your mother, your father, grandparents, guardian, whoever it may be around when you were growing up that's sort of changed your life? And we've had some really cool, thoughtful answers. I just wanted, if you would like to share.
It's a really interesting question, isn't it? I think, and everyone's childhoods and upbringings are so diverse and different. And I don't think there was any life-changing lessons. I would say I had great inspiration from my grandmother, who was a professional actress, did quite a lot of UK television and theatre and things like that. And, she always encouraged me and was the one that sort of guided me towards that route of performing. My mum and dad were brought up in pubs, didn't really have too much for financial education or anything like that. But if one thing I learned from them growing up in the sort of pub industry and things like that was that it's hard work and it's hard graft. So if I've learned one thing from them, it's how to work hard. probably not to the best and most efficient sometimes, but good hard working ethics is, I had as soon as I could go out and work, I was, doing paper rounds and cleaning people's cars, and as soon as I could get working in shops and things like that. So I've always had an interest in that. But mum and dad are always very, very supportive. Dad was much more of the be realistic kind of person, very safe, and mum was more of the go and chase your dreams. So a good balance, I would say, I had there. So I count myself quite lucky.
Fantastic, good man. Okay, so John, Chris, E, Ellie, if anybody would like to answer this question, just flash your microphones. E, off you go.
So I remember this was a great lesson when I purchased my property management business. I was at the time 21, almost 22, and I remember my dad said something to me that it's something that I still use now, almost 8 years later, is to always play in the shadows. And what he meant by that is that I am never the boss. No matter when I answer, who I answer, when I give quotes, there is no ego attached to what I do, my title, or anything like that. Anytime I go to any of our properties, I'll go and I'll do maintenance calls and everything else. I'm just somebody that works there. And I think at that time was hugely beneficial because at that age, I think there is a lot of ego that comes with being an entrepreneur. And I think being able to keep your ego in check and not kind of talk about I everywhere. And even to now, as I mentioned, we sign all of our emails with we, and there is no very clear idea of who the boss is. And another thing that he taught me that is hugely beneficial is to just know people's names and try to remember, especially in places where you go to often. And I make a game of that, and I try to remember my favorite restaurants or everywhere I go often, right? Even at the gym, the guy that cleans the floors, a smile, know his name, and just make people feel kind of special. Also because being in the space that we're in, the way that we make people feel is actually what is going to be remembered. So as a leader in your own vacation rental company or just in your local industry, in your community, I think there's no better way that to be known as the person that makes people feel special and remembered.
Amazing. Love it. Thank you very much for sharing that. Is there anybody else who would like to share? Same question. Go on, Chris.
Yeah, well, I didn't. I mean, now my father died when I was young, so I didn't really get much guidance from that side of it. But my granddad was very one-worder. He had lots of one words, and he kind of brought me up. And I can always remember him saying to me, "Chris, there's always room for the best, and don't eat yellow snow." And I'll always remember that.
I love that. And have you ever eaten yellow snow?
No. And we all know why.
Yeah, good stuff. Who else would like to share?
So that was what I learned.
That's genius.
you like that one, Richard?
Ellie, I saw you unmute your microphone. Is there anything you'd like to share on that one?
My dad was a Green Beret Special Forces, and in his lifetime, he made so much money and spent it all away. And at the end of his life, he was, very depressed because he couldn't make it back again. But a lot of the things that he talked about, and being in the military and being raised by him solely were my favorite. So whenever I was like, no matter what it was, I could be upset about, my period or a boyfriend or whatever. It was always the same advice. Ellie, ruck up, which means like put on a giant backpack and hike up a mountain, And the other one was, mess with the best, die like the rest. And I know this sounds like super crazy and weird for like a young woman to say, or like that jargon to think about, but it also kind of helped me be very brave in a lot of situations that I didn't have anything else that was like a sounding board. And then with my mother, it wasn't so much about what she taught me, but what she didn't teach me and what she kind of like, showed me what not to do. Because she left me at such a young age, now I cannot ever imagine like ever being without my children. So I'm there for them and I will be there for them. No matter how much they hate me, I'm just going to be that crazy mom that's in their life forever. So thanks for asking that question. It's really nice to share.
No, my absolute pleasure. Okay, let's flip it up a little bit. I want to go back to some form of marketing to sort of help people that are in the audience. And again, to everybody that's messaging and sharing their stories, fantastic. Thank you so much. So the next question is, and we'll just come straight back to the top, Liam. The question is going to be your favorite, not Clubhouse, but your favorite social media that you are using right now and why. So Liam, if you're still with us, anybody who with us, flash the mics. TJ's joined us, which is amazing. Thank you, TJ. Richard, we'll go to yourself. Let me know favorite social media that you are using right now. Anything but Clubhouse.
Oh God, that's a tough one. I'm not a fan of social media, to be quite honest. Though the nearest I come to social media, I suppose you call LinkedIn social media. So that's probably it. I get berated for not jumping onto my Facebook account and Messenger as often as I should because people want to connect to me on it. It's just not my thing, I'm afraid. I kind of like talking to people. I don't really like browsing through endless Twitter feeds. And there's so much, let's call it, so much misinformation out there as well. And a lot of it is actually hard to interpret too. So head down, more focused, business and leisure outside, not on social media.
Not on these devices. Not on these devices.
I apologise for my lack of interest in that.
That's okay. When I'm thinking of questions and I was thinking social media, I was like, should I ask Richard first? Should I ask Richard? I'll go for it. But it's all right. It's all right. We'll move. We'll move on.
Hang on, Mark.
Go on.
Hang on, Mark. I've got two kids, I was going to say, in their 20s. They used to be Facebook addicts. You speak to them now, they go, I don't use Facebook anymore. Interesting.
Very, very true. Well, very true. I've been burned by that platform. But I want to get Mr. Sean Rocky G's opinion on this one because he has all of a sudden got onto TikTok. I follow him on TikTok.
Well, actually, I've been spending a lot of time trying to grow my OnlyFans audience actually lately. So.
Oh shit! It always makes me laugh. So if you haven't seen Sean's TikToks, please do go check him out because they always get a response. Now, actually, a little sub question to this: you are reading a book at the moment and called Instabrain. Is that still right? Are you still reading that?
Yeah, that's one of them. I bought like 10 different books on digital marketing and content creation, and Instabrain is a super good book.
Yeah, it's one of my on the list now, thanks to your recommendation. But so far, I don't know how far you're through it, but what has been some of the main takeaways? And again, just a quick summary of what the book is about, and again, any takeaways that you have from it, if you don't mind.
So the book, initially you think it's just like, hey, how to capture attention like in 3 seconds or less, but it actually talks about like Generation Z in a much deeper sense than the book lets on to. It actually talks about the whole brain of Generation Z. So Instabrain is more of like their analogy to the fact that the Generation Z has been raised on Instagram. So they talk about how Generation Z, they're hardworking, they value saving, they are more college focused than millennials were. The way that they follow people and how they build relationships through the internet is completely different. They don't use search engines nearly as much, like they'll use like Instagram or other places. There's just this. What it tells you is not just like, hey, here's how to create a hook to get somebody to like look at your stuff fast, but it shows you how fast they do process and they can make snap judgments on people way, way faster. So it's not just so much about like, hey, say something really quick, but like if your content's they'll know super fast. And if you're not authentic, they're going to know super fast because they're just so much better at processing visuals. How you create your content changes like at the core of your why in a way. It's not even just like, hey, here's how to create a hook, but like just you should really just check up who you are and why you're even trying to like reach out to Generation Z in the first place. But it's really uplifting because it talks about how like Generation Z they're built to consume. Like they consume information or content for so many different reasons. So it really does say, hey, if you're a content creator right now, like this is the golden era to create content to capture the attention of Gen Z. So the book's super wide.
Very interesting. And again, you may be thinking Gen Z aren't my customer avatar, etc. But the stats are there. The stats have shown that even if your target audience is, say, millennials or baby boomers, they are now their sons and daughters are the Gen Z, and they have a very big say in where they go and stay. So you've got to start thinking along these sort of lines, because this is the generation that could just basically Google a question, and this is now going to be the generation that will speak to, Alexa and Siri more than they will actually type. And this is really interesting in everything like that. And it's attention spans. This is the generation now that don't actually own a car. They use Uber and all those sort of things. So it's really interesting to tap into that. But
yeah, you're right. Hold on. Hey Alexa, are you alive?
I'm not really alive, but I can be lively sometimes.
So yeah, you really just can't ask her anything.
You can ask her. This is why I don't have one, because again, for somebody who does a lot of podcasts and videos, and if there's Alexa in around, she just picks up on my Yorkshire accent so well and loves to interrupt podcasts and all those sort of things. So we're going to move on to TJ. TJ, if you were with us, my friend, unmute that microphone. If you aren't, I don't think he is. Richard, do you want to chime in now very quickly? We're talking about something that's piqued your interest, obviously.
You mean on Gen Z being the future of being the future? Full stop.
What is the future?
I've moved on. I'm in Gen Alpha these days. So if you look at the latest Expedia reports from 2019, the 60% of the influence on going on holiday is from Generation Alpha these days. So. The 5 till 9 year olds have all got mobile phones and notepads and laptops and everything else, and they're becoming involved in the whole travel experience moving forward. So, yeah, it's hard for me to understand, but I have an Alexa. I only use it as an egg timer and for music, however. And I'm deeply suspicious of it listening to me whenever I go into anybody else's house. But that's the difference in the ages, I guess. And I'm really interested in TikTok and the way that has actually taken off. And I have to admit, I am a bit of an addict when people send me through all these videos on WhatsApp. But the trouble is, once I get stuck in front of it, I can be there for hours watching some of this stuff, same as YouTube. And, your life's being wasted while the leaves are growing.
What a wise statement. A wise statement. But
Mark, I'm jumping off because I got a call at 6 o'clock, but I'll be back.
Appreciate it. We'll be here for a good few hours. So I do appreciate your time and jumping in. Okay, so we're going to move on. Mr. Adam, are you there? What is your favorite social media of choice if you have one? He's not there. Send me a D. He said be right back. TJ, there you go, TJ. You're there.
Hey.
How we doing, my friend?
Sorry about that, but I'm actually over here at my next couple units that I'm setting up. I'm actually at the Marvel and DC theme units that I'm setting up right now. We got furniture coming in here.
Nice.
Yeah. So no, this is good about social media. I actually admire Sean so much because he tapped into TikTok and just started taking off with it. And I need to do that. And what was interesting is I got a TikTok a few months ago I guess it was about last year sometime when you had to get in through your Instagram account. And so, but once they severed that connection, I haven't been able to log into my TikTok anymore. So I might have to just create a whole new page. But the TikTok support said they're going to help me out to get my page back. But anyway, I mean, that's definitely something I need to get into. I'm definitely inspired by Sean that he's taking off with it. And I know that, I mean, I think I was in I think it was a room with Brad Lee or something like that. They were talking about TikTok is probably one of the top apps right now that's getting the most, not just engagement, but really it's really one of the best for business right now. So I definitely think I'm really asleep on that. I was in a room and they were talking about this other app. I believe it's called True Fans. I could be wrong, but it's similar to like OnlyFans, but for like business, to where people pay a subscription, and you can post content. You can actually put an ebook on there and read it, like have like your own kind of audio books where people can tap into. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. So I think it's interesting how kind of these not only these social apps, but apps that are for creatives, for monetization opportunities. And I think you can kind of see that's the kind of direction that Clubhouse is going to as well. So I think, social media is crucial. It's important. I tend to take advantage of it in the sense, I mean, my Instagram and Clubhouse probably the two most that I'm active on right now, but I definitely need to expand that. I mean, the famous quote goes that you're not making enough money because not enough people know what you're doing. And I think with social media, That's an opportunity for a lot of people to know what you're doing rather easy and rather quick. So again, within just my business and my brand, I definitely need to do better. And even with my Instagram, I don't think I'm posting enough. So
no, you're doing good.
Definitely something I plan to get better.
You're doing good, and you're one of the very first people that I have noticed that has got the Clubhouse tipping section turned on. Now, did you know this? Did this just appear? This is something you requested. Has anybody used it, utilized it? Like, walk us through that for a second, TJ, if you could.
Well, yeah, I was on Clubhouse one time, and I saw this room, and they were talking about Clubhouse new feature. It was like 4 or 5 different rooms talking about the same thing, and I was like, wait, what just happened? What's this update? And so then I go into my deal, and I saw that I don't see what they're saying. And then somebody in the room was like, you got to update the app first. And once I updated, then I saw that I had the payment feature, and it took like 30 seconds to set up. And then once I did that, it was just there. Nobody's ever sent me anything, nor have I ever asked for anything. But it's just there, and I went ahead and set up. I thought most people have it set up actually, but yeah, it's. I mean, I think it's cool. I think there's other opportunities for there's some other monetization kind of ideas that they're fooling around with, especially when it comes to like these clubs and stuff like that. So
yeah, well, not many people have 22,000 followers on Clubhouse, so that is probably one of the reasons why. But it'd be really interesting on how you can make it. Hey, you're going to just say something, buddy?
Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to TJ. I love me and Mike had him on the podcast, and bro, you there's just X amount of hours in the day. I don't know how else to say it to you, bro. You're doing amazing and everything, but I wanted to give you a chance to also do a little shout out for your gear. Because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but now most of his posts have this rentrepreneur swag that he's been wearing, and it's just making me jealous because I still can't find it anywhere, but it looks so sick. So that on top of everything else that TJ is doing and just being an amazing leader in our community, he's also making clothes. So I mean, just so awesome.
TJ, talk us through the clothes for a minute. Like, where did the idea come from? Who are you using to ship it and whatnot?
Oh man, listen, I haven't even launched anything about it yet. I haven't even really put it out there yet. That's one of the things that I plan on doing. I actually just brought in a mentor that specializes, and they do really well just on the apparel and branding and Shopify. All that world is brand new to me. But trust me, the Rentrepreneur gear, the drip, the merch is definitely planning on rolling that out. A lot of people, I think it resonates with a lot of people, not just people in real estate, but just really anything that you're doing, right? And even an entrepreneur in any phase of entrepreneurship, if you're getting cash flow, then this is definitely a brand that's for you. So yeah, it's definitely something I'm probably the shirts, the hats, the hoodies, all that's going to be dropping here pretty soon. So I'll definitely be on the lookout for that. But of course, all my people like you guys, trust me, I'm gonna be asking for addresses here pretty soon to get you guys some gear. That way you guys can drip nicely with your entrepreneur gear.
There you go. I look forward to seeing some of that. Amazing. Thank you very much. John, I don't know if you are with us, my friend. If you are, just flash that microphone. There you go, buddy. So the question is social media. Like, is there a channel that you get along with more than others? Like, what? Not Clubhouse, obviously, but something else. Like, what are you enjoying right now? What are you using?
I am a social media dinosaur, so I'm the last person you should ask. I even struggle with Clubhouse, so I'm still on Facebook. I like Instagram, but it's just minimal posts. I am intrigued with TikTok and what Sean is doing. And I've also heard Pinterest. A lot of people are using Pinterest as a pretty good social media source. So my plan is I have a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old who already have YouTube channels and have, for their age, they have like hundreds of followers and things. So pretty soon I'm going to put them on my social media campaign, and hopefully they can help bring me out of the Stone Ages for social media.
That is amazing. So your 10 and 12-year-old, they have YouTube channels. What do they talk about?
So my son, he's actually a pretty tech-savvy kid, and he posts Minecraft videos. He creates montages and, like syncs all his like video games with songs, and it's pretty cool. And so people like his videos, so they're following him on that. And then my daughter, who's the 10-year-old, she is into a game called Roblox. And so she likes to put in like nice designs on her characters and, and feature that on her YouTube channel.
These kids, man, they're so clever. This is it. I've got an 8-year-old and he he wants to have a YouTube channel, but I'm just like, nah. I watched one too many Netflix documentaries about social media, social dilemma and whatnot. I'm like, yeah, you're nowhere near it until you're 16. But it's really interesting to see what these kids do. My little boy, he plays. So we're talking about NFTs and we're talking about crypto and the multiverse and things earlier on. And ever since properly getting into it and seeing what the worlds that are being built on things like Decentraland and all these crazy things, I've said to both my Alfie and Charlie, 5-year-old and 8-year-old, every day you are playing Minecraft in some way, shape or form. You're going to learn to code because you will be the builders when you get to our age and whatnot. So it's really hilarious, like with things like Roblox and whatnot. I know about them and Minecraft and whatnot. So it's super interesting to see, and thank you for sharing. All right, E, my man. What social media channel do you love using? You're very good on the Instagram. You're very good on the things. But what's the one that you like using more than most?
So I love Instagram. So Instagram is really now become what Facebook used to be. I rarely use Facebook now. It just kind of like it's to be in touch with the like older generation. So like my grandparents and all of those people there. But try to do very little there. I do a lot on IG, and then my guilty pleasure is actually TikTok, and not as a content producer, but as just somebody that watches it. It's so easy, and it's the algorithm there is very smart. So the quality of the content can be really good as long as you follow good people. And so my stuff is all like real estate, cooking, travel, cryptocurrency. So it's actually quite entertaining. And I should definitely get on it as a content creator as well. It's just, there's not enough time.
Yeah. So it's interesting that people are following Sean over onto TikTok. It's very fascinating to see. Okay. Let's flip it up. Who is with us right now? If you're with us, flash that microphone. I know we've got John, we've got Emmanuel, we've got Manisha. What I would love for people to do is, if you can do, just tap that microphone and invite people in. In 1 hour's time, I've just got confirmation via LinkedIn. I've been chatting to somebody that I don't think anybody will have heard of, but he's somebody that you'll want to know about. He's going to come and join us at 8 p.m. UK. He is over on the Pacific time. I think he's in Seattle or San Francisco, one of the two. So he's going to be 11 o'clock for his time. He's going to be coming in to see out and help us out with the final hour. We've got something pretty special lined up. So please do me a massive favor. If you could just tap that plus button and just invite as many people as you can do into this room. Tap away. We are streaming it live on YouTube as well and Facebook. So if you know people that are on there, please do tell people about it and come and join in the conversation. So John, E, and Manisha, for the next hour, we're going to be definitely chatting, and Sean keeps jumping in and out as well. I do appreciate it, and obviously TJ will be back as well. So what we're going to talk about now, so we talk about social media, we've talked about movies, we've talked about concerts, music, all that lovely stuff. The next thing that I would love to focus on is going to be about the tools that we use. So everybody in here has got a business in some way, shape or form, whether you're directly involved in hospitality or helping hospitality. And something that I love researching, finding out more about is the day-to-day tools that we all use, whether that be email, whether that be things like Zapier or something that will just help our business run smoothly. And this question is great because we've got so many people that are tuning in, whether it's in Clubhouse now or on YouTube or Facebook, and everybody's doing their own thing, but there's always going to be something that they can bring into the business that's going to help it. So we'll start with John. And then we'll go E, and then Manisha, if you're with us, and Sean finally. Is there a specific tool that you are using for your business with your day-to-day life that you are absolutely loving at the moment? And it can be literally anything that is helping your hospitality business or business just run a bit smoother. John, if you're with us, just tap your microphone and off you go.
Yeah, my tech stack is like 45 different technologies and things that I string together.
I love it.
So there are lots of things that I love and I couldn't live without. But going back to my comment about learning from my kids, I had been using Slack to communicate with my VAs and with my team. And one day he saw me using Slack, and he said, "Dad, you should try this thing called Discord. This is what gamers use to communicate." And when he first mentioned it, it came in one ear out the other. But he kept on explaining all the features that Discord had, and I looked at it, and it's amazing. It's just like Slack, except it has a drop-in audio channel, so you can just not call people, but like just have a channel open. You're sitting in there and say, "Hey, jump in," and then you can have a conversation with your team. And so it has all the core features of Slack, and it's very familiar if you use Slack. But then it has additional features that make team coordination and communication so much easier. And so now I've transitioned my internal communication tool to Discord. I make sure like all my cleaners, all my maintenance guys, all my VAs, everyone has to be on Discord if they want to work with me. And it's just, I'm so excited about a simple tool that helps me communicate. And it's not Slack, it's Discord. And I highly recommend everyone at least take a look at it because I think it's changed my life.
Very interesting. The second person to talk about Discord tonight, and again, it's something that I've looked at, can't really get my head around it, but I haven't really dedicated enough time to it. So apart from Discord, is there anything else? Somebody's got a massive tech stack, so to speak. Is there any other tools that you can recommend? Sorry to put you on the spot.
No. I mean, I love talking this stuff. For me, Price Labs is, and I'm playing around with Wheelhouse. I saw Andrew Kitchell just joined in.
What a time to talk about a pricing software tool just as the CEO of Wheelhouse comes in, which is nice little. Andrew, we will come to you. Don't you worry, my friend. But
hey, great to say. And the Price Labs guys are great. So fire away, John. Share your story.
No, but I don't just use one pricing tool. I actually jump back and forth between Beyond Pricing, Wheelhouse, and Price Labs. So Price Labs is my go-to pricing software. And honestly, between the algorithm that it has with the human touch, like it has like revolutionized the type of revenue I'm able to generate with my properties. And again, it's nothing new, but a lot of people think pricing tools, you set it and forget it, and it'll somehow magically run it for you, but it does need the human touch. My analogy always is revenue management is like driving, right? You have to know where you want to get to, and then you're making constant micro adjustments along the way to get you where you want safely. And tools like Price Labs, Wheelhouse, Beyond Pricing, like honestly, I would not have the type of success that I have if I didn't have these types of tools and these geniuses putting this together. So Andrew, Anurag, all these people, I worship you because you guys help me make money. So that's my other thing that I cannot live without. I'd be lost in this business if I did not have pricing tools.
Amazing. And again, I always state this, which is why I am so digging Wheelhouse this year, is that when 10 years ago, or whenever it was that I came back into the family business and I was put in charge of this stuff, I literally had nothing like this available to me. So it's everybody right now has got the ability per booking to make more money and to recoup any lost revenue from 2020 by using these tools, but so many people still aren't. So like John said, there's a ton out there. I love Wheelhouse because it's free. Some fantastic people behind it, and the free stuff that they give is better than what everybody else is charging for. So it's not just a plug because Andrew's in the room. It is literally. I talk about you guys all the time. So thank you very much.
Mark, can I add something? Because I actually think something John shared is John dropped a great analogy about pricing that I would love to just share a little bit more about the whole.
Yeah, go for it.
John, when you say pricing and automated pricing, it's like, if you're driving a car, you need to kind of choose the direction, etc. On Thursday, we've got a webinar. Wheelhouse is teaming up with Jordan Locke, who runs a company called Rev Party Consulting. He's a professional revenue manager, and he leverages Wheelhouse for a bunch of his customers. And he's giving a presentation. And very fittingly, John, the presentation is called "How Revenue Management is Like Driving a Tesla." And he's gonna illustrate, like, hey, look, your Tesla can do a lot of self-driving, but you still got to choose where you're going. You still got to put your hands on the wheel, adjust your mirrors, etc. You got to set your platform or really the car up for success. So, and then of course adapt as you go, right? Adapt as you go. So, totally agree. I think the car analogy is very apt for revenue management, for pricing in particular. So yeah, excited to. We actually are sharing that out with a bunch, kind of via email. We'll be announcing that tomorrow, and it is Thursday. Find out how revenue management is like a car. So nice analogy, John.
So while we've got you, Andrew, apart from pricing tools, what are the other tools that you use to help you run Wheelhouse? We've had Discord from John and obviously talk about pricing tools, but apart from pricing, what are the other tools that you like to use that just make your life so much easier?
Yeah, I think about categories of tools. So I think the main categories of tools that people need to be investing in, at least learning about, if not using within their business. You have the distribution tools. So how are you selling your product across the most marketplaces? Distribution is obviously incredibly important to get right. There's a couple great distribution companies, BookingPal, Rentals United, Booking Sync can do a bunch of distribution. A lot of channels, HostAway. A lot of folks can do distribution, but there are specialists within the channel management game that can help you sell across Wyndham, Google, etc. So channel management is a great category to know and invest in. Obviously, the PMS category, I'm sure, since we've had 24 hours in a room together, I bet a few PMSs have come up, but that's a huge category. And property management software, of course. I think of revenue management as the third big category. Then I think about communication, and comm software is very, very interesting to me. I think about operational software. So we're looking at softwares like Breezeway. And then Mark, is there something about a whole direct booking movement going on, or how are people thinking about that right now? I think that is it's like one of those things that, it just seems like this is the year where there's starting to be momentum around direct booking. And I'm trying to remember who I was speaking to yesterday, where direct booking is now outpacing Vrbo for a large PM. Which is so interesting and unique. So obviously a category people have to be investing in. And long term, I do think direct booking and kind of moving away from the channels is an inevitability as professionalization of the space in kind of continues and as technology improves as well. So lots of great software. Unfortunately, I've got a list of like 50 softwares I love. Yeah, I would say the big categories are channel management, property management, revenue management, communications, operations software. And I think about the direct booking as a big vertice as well.
Oh man, appreciate it. And please do stick around. Please do stick around. John, go on, sorry.
Mark, I just want to add, this morning, Sean and I and Ellie were in a room where we were talking about direct booking with a couple folks, Chris Mon, Eric, and Vince Breslin. We were trying to get you in the room, but clearly this 24-hour room was more important for you than my little clubhouse. But but yeah, no, direct booking is becoming huge, and I think more and more people are trying to not just put up a website, but put up a credible website that can actually convert. And I'm excited about that as well. So yeah.
Any other time, I will be there, but literally if I leave this room, then the whole live stream goes. So I couldn't leave this, but
I know, I'm kidding.
next time, my friend. All right, Sean, if you are there, my friend, in your business, and it can be anything, doesn't have to be the hospitality, it could be just any tools that you are using that help you run your systems, your life better. It doesn't have to be automation, it can be anything that you're currently enjoying and digging right now.
Haley.
So can you expand on this, please, for those who don't know who Haley is?
So I'm a super old school business type of person, and I believe in running things through people, kind of like how, Warren Buffett, in all of his billions, he's only had like ever 11 people that have actually reported to him directly. I currently try to keep my maximum at 6 touch points, 6 human touch points to run everything that I do. And Haley runs my entire short-term rental portfolio / Airbnb business, 100 plus units. So she does absolutely everything. That includes hiring people, picking up new properties. Currently, she's doing all the negotiations for new deals, aside from the stuff that I'm doing in Philadelphia, just because I happen to be up there. But yeah, so Haley allows the business to run in its entirety, where I can, if needed, just have 0 hours a week invested in that business. So she is my tool for automation.
That is perfect. And again, people over systems, computers, automation, it definitely can work. And Haley's been like, again, if anybody's seen the YouTube channel, has been on there and front of center, which is fantastic. And it's good to see. I love that answer. Okay, so we're going to move down.
Yeah, she has so much control that she hacked into my YouTube account and posted a video without me knowing it was coming.
I saw it. Very good. Enjoyed it. So do go check that out if you're wondering what we are talking about. So moving down to yourself. Obviously somebody that has built up a business. And again, I know your buddy Mike is very keen on automations and systems and processes in place. But what about you? Is it tools that you use that you literally couldn't live without? And it can be literally anything. It doesn't have to be hospitality related.
Yeah. So as of lately, and one of the big difference, so I've been doing this for the last 10 years. When I took over the business in 2012, I inherited it from a older gentleman, but he did everything on Excel. So we had a direct booking website where people would submit a request, and then we would call them, send them a reservation form. They'll have to print it out, sign it, fax it back to us. And I kind of inherited that business and ran it that way. I'm not a very system forward person for years. And then since I started doing the short-term rental secret podcast with Mike and my friendship with Mike and meeting all of these awesome people here, I really decided to invest in the technology that is now everywhere. So I would say life changer, Smart B&B, a good property management software that allows you to push out to as many OTAs as possible while syncing everything. Those two things, if you have already a unit or a couple of units and you just want to feel like what it's like to go to the next level, those would be the first two things. And then a good pricing, like we talked about. Either you can go with Andrew, Price Labs, Wheelhouse, they're all great. But that all makes it really much into a business. So I would say those 3 things that I think pretty much everybody has.
I love it. And there's a nice little recurring theme, and I hope people are making notes. We are obviously recording this. It's on YouTube right now, which will then get turned into, all of these notes will get turned into a PDF and whatnot. If you do want a copy of that, please make sure you message me on Instagram so I can let you know how you can get hold of them. Totally free, no charge, just like everything that we're doing today. So going to move on to Dina. If you are available, please unmute your microphone. And just again, obviously there's been a lot of cool tools shared, but again, for yourself, is there anything that you're specifically using, anything that you can share, whether it be email, social, whatever, anything that just makes your life so much easier?
I wouldn't say I couldn't live without this, but there's another opportunity for revenue development is like reselling services here. So there's a product called ResGo, and it's a platform where I can help guests book all the extra add-ons in one transaction on my ResGo account, take my commission off of those reservations, let's say for a charter float plane or a wine tour or whatever else they need add-ons for. I can collect my commission using this website, and then it's automatically relayed to each provider the reservation details where they can close the rest of the transaction and collect. So I really like that platform. Actually, I believe it's a Canadian company. So if they have some of the tour providers already connected on their ResGo account, it's a really easy syncing process for me to resell their product. Otherwise, I just manually have to enter in the tour provider, the retail sale price, and then my Stripe account. So it's really awesome, easy way to do all the add-ons in one transaction versus recommending the guest go to multiple different providers and then relying on them to send you your commissions. So it's called ResGo.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Nice little tip. And again, please do make notes of these. Ellie, are you back with us?
Yeah.
There you go. So
what's the question?
So the question is tools. So the tools that you are using in your day-to-day business, it doesn't have to be hospitality related, it can be anything, whether it's email, social, you name it. Is there any tools that you can recommend, something that you love and can't live without, anything those sort of lines?
Yeah. For my company, it's Slack, Monday, and Milanote. Those are the three that I use and for personal life, it is probably just Urban Sitter, like finding great nannies to help me out with these crazy kids. I swear to God, it allows me to have more time to talk on Clubhouse. And I really love Clubhouse. Clubhouse is a lot of fun. So thanks, Mark.
There you go. Absolute pleasure. So some real good chats here, like Slack and Monday, definitely ones to make a note of. Okay, so in 30 minutes, I don't know what time that is wherever you are in the world, because we have got people from all over tuning in. We have got special guests coming in. I've just announced who it is or what it is or what is coming on the WhatsApp group. So those of you that are on there, you will know what I'm talking about. For everybody who doesn't, you're in for a lovely little surprise. So what I would actually like to do for the next 30 minutes is invite those that are in the audience right now to come up on stage. I'm going to give option for one person to come up on stage and ask a question. So if you would like to, I've opened up where you can raise your hand, and you're going to ask our esteemed panel a question about business, hospitality, Airbnb. We've got some fantastic people up on the stage with us that have got years of advice here. So if you would like to come up and ask a question, then please raise your hand and I will get you up on stage. Just to be aware, we are recording this, so if you don't fancy being your voice recorded, then you don't have to come up. If you would like to send me the message on Instagram, you can do. And we've also got a link where you can ask questions as well. And if we haven't got a question from the audience, what I will do is I will go to our Google form and to ask the question there, which we don't look like we do. So let me go into the Google form and I'm going to ask a question for our esteemed panel. As far as I'm aware, none of these questions have been answered. So we're going to go in, and the question is this, and it's quite a good one actually. Mr. Khan, Afsha Khan from London sent this question in on our Google Doc that we had running for the last 24 hours. The question is this: how do you get contracts or get into businesses with private or public sector? So how do you get those juicy business or corporate bookings? That was the question that was asked. So let's see who's up first. If you would like to answer this question. So the question is this: how do you get corporate bookings? How's the best way of going about being proactive and getting corporate bookings? If you would like to answer that question from the audience, just flicker your mic, unmute your microphone, and we will begin. And if no one's going to volunteer, then I'll just pick on some people. There you go, Manisha. Fantastic. You're here with us. Off you go. I'm glad you came in because this is right up your back.
Sorry, I've been traveling and I've been having problem with the internet all the time. So although I was listening, I didn't want to contribute because I knew the line would not be stable.
Oh, bless you. Thank you very much for my ears and recording in the background. I appreciate you. Okay, so question, the floor is yours. Go for it.
Yes. So if you're going for the corporate model, which is what we tend to focus on, it's very important for you to start marketing on LinkedIn. So start addressing and looking for the right people. For companies that are doing construction, who has a couple of companies or headquarters in different places, and they're bound to travel. But it's all the construction companies you're looking around you within different area that has different sites everywhere. And you're bound to be able to get through. But the challenge is going through the gatekeepers before you actually get to speak to somebody who can actually help you. Now, LinkedIn is really good because obviously you get the title of the person, so you're most likely speaking to the right person. So using LinkedIn is really good. What we also do, which tend to be quite effective, is calling to the companies itself. So I have a telesales team that I use that are experienced in calling out companies, so they're less likely to get a no or being stopped by the gatekeepers. And her team would call them and try and get through the gatekeepers to be able to speak to the right person who's dealing with the accommodation, and then start pitching what we do, how we can help, and the service we provide. But I think with them, the importance is to always try and picture that you're providing a solution to their problem, because I think there's a lot of people just pitching, we are service accommodation, we can do this, 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 this. What we're trying to do is we go in and we say, look, I know how difficult it is to manage all your booking requirement. Why don't we become your sole provider, and we will just facilitate everything just on a call or an email, and we'll sort everything out for you. So that's what we tend to focus in terms of our message, to be able to kind of break away from everybody else who's trying to pitch to them. And then if you go further down in terms of not necessarily the corporate, but then all the sites where it's still business travelers and you're still going to get long-term contract, what we tend to do is leaflets to the sites, building relationship with the site manager, which is really, really good. I mean, once you build a relationship to the site manager, you just constantly get referral. We've built really good relationship with some of the site managers here, and one of them, we are the go-to person for them. So every time there's a team coming on working on a different project, they would just say, please go to KVM, and they'll just contact us and we'll deal with it. So building a relationship, try and find out who's the best person to deal with is usually better. Now, a lot of people saying going straight to the person who's booking the accommodation might be easier. Most of the time it's quite hard to do that because they're very busy themselves, and they don't like to be entertained with a lot of marketing call. So being able to speak to the site manager and then them going back to the companies, because when you're talking to the site manager, they're not the actual company that will be booking with them, with you, but they will refer you on. So for example, we had a site manager working from a different company, but then all the outsourced contracts that were coming in were from different companies, and every time he referred us, it would be a different company. But because we've already been referred by this site manager, it makes it easier for us to create a contract with them. Now, things you need to be aware of is it's not your normal standard contract, because they might have different terms. You might need to agree on an invoicing period. There's so many things, and their process could be longer. They could take a couple of weeks before they add you as a supplier. So it's slightly different to what we're doing at the moment, where we tend to take booking as soon as we get payment as soon as you get booking. It's slightly different. You just need to be a little bit more patient, but you're dealing with a big company, so you just have to understand what would work for them and what will work for you. Sometimes we'll say, no, we can agree to that. It is against our policy. And sometimes we said, do you know what? It is against our policy, but we'll try to be a bit flexible, because we know this is what we're going to be doing with you. But just make sure that you are the person who's solving their problem. As soon as they can feel that you're going to be solving their problem, they will use you and they will not use anybody else. So one of our company that we use, who's just using us, they've been contacted by other providers in the area, but because they're using us and because they have a good service with us, they've just turned everybody else down without even entertaining a conversation with them. And that's what you want to be able to do, build a relationship with that company once you start working with them, so they don't move on and go to somebody else. I hope that's been useful.
Very useful, really good. Is there anything else that anybody would like to bounce onto that? Obviously that was a very UK centric answer, but people in America and Canada, anybody else, Dave, or anybody who wants to jump in and just add anything to that?
Yeah, I'm happy to add. So when you this is going to be a UK thing too, unfortunately or fortunately for some people. So there's so for corporate clients or corporate clients or contractors, whatever that might be, there's a good tool that I use, which can be expensive, but if you use the free trial method, then you'll pick up a lot of business off the back of it. So there's a piece of software out there called Glennigan's, or some other people might know Barber ABI, but there's another one called Glennigan's. Now, if you use that piece of software, what Glennigan's and Barber ABI do is they collate all the planning or the buildings that are getting built, or the project, or any projects that are on in a particular city or town. And they'll show you when they went into planning, when they're due to start, when they're due to finish. But one of the great things about them, if you get a large project in the city, then the Glenigans and Barber ABI, they also give you the project manager's name, or the people that are coming to actually work on that particular project, which means you can get direct into people that are coming straight into your city to work. Now, generally, they'll have people that are coming from outside of the city, and there may be opportunity there to get long-term stays or long-term bookings for contractors or professionals that are coming into the city for those particular projects. So hopefully that helps us. Glenigans is the one that you can get a free trial on, and you can pick up quite a lot of information on that free trial.
Great stuff.
There you go.
Good tips. Again, Glenigans and Barber API, definitely for those in the UK. Dina, do you have anything for your side of the world? Anything that you pick up, or similar type of websites?
No, I don't have a website, but a strategy that I do to connect with those corporate clients. I kind of consider myself a little bit of an ambulance chaser. So anytime there's a fire, especially in an apartment building, I typically reach out to those property managers, building managers, or the developer, and let them know that I have a ton of properties that I can accommodate their displaced tenants, even if it's just for a few nights because of water damage or whatnot. It happens all the time. So I just watch the news and hop on that. And then I really love the free trial idea. I've built a few relationships with some of the developers out of town just passively. So they've come, and then I let them know, instead of booking on Airbnb, obviously, to come direct. And we can usually accommodate, we'll get 5 bookings at a time for weeks on end, just from offering them a little bit of a bulk discount. So,
what I love is that you are one step away from getting a police scanner.
That would be way faster than waiting for the news. Oh, that's a great idea.
Well, it might be illegal, but hey, I was very unfortunately drinking water when you said that, ambulance chaser, and I almost spat it out all over this technology, which wouldn't have been good, but that is hilarious. I love it. So what a good tip. What a good tip. Well done, you. All right. Is there any more before we move on to our next question? I don't think so. But Neil, thanks for joining us. I believe we haven't had the pleasure. Airbnb community leader for Calgary, Canada, over 3,500 stays, and he's a super host. So welcome to the stage. Anything you would like to add on that? Obviously, Calgary, a fellow Canadian to Dina.
Yeah, just I'm a huge fan of Sean. I actually bought an iPad just so I could join Clubhouse. I'm an Android guy, but I'm the Calgary Airbnb community leader. So I have a community group of 300 people as the official Airbnb group for Calgary. And that's about it for me. I host about 35 places. Most of it's co-hosting, about 25 is co-hosting, 5 are arbitrage, and about 5 are owned. And yeah, that's about it.
Well, thank you for being up here. Thank you. Do stick around, and while you're up here, do fill out that Clubhouse bio. The good news for you, or maybe not for your bank balance, is that Clubhouse is being beated right now on Android, part of the new update. But at least you can come over to the good side and come over to, at least you've got an iPad there. But yeah, it is coming. So thanks for being here, and hopefully you'll be able to check out more Clubhouse rooms. Now you are on the platform, but please do stick around, and thanks for coming up here. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next question. And again, I would love for people to answer. These are the questions that have been submitted by the people in the audience, people that have been tuning in over the course of the last 22 hours, coming up to 23 hours, which is crazy. And I think Ellie might be able to answer this one, potentially, if you're available. So the question is this, and it's by Ralph, who's based in Houston, but his properties are in France. So the current business brand is called Paris Nice Vacations. It started out by having properties in both Paris and Nice. But because of COVID, they have got rid of the properties in Paris and it's all Nice based now. So the thinking is, would it be a good time to change the business name to say, for example, Holidays in Nice or something Nice centric? But the risk is losing the brand recognition that he has built up over the past few years. So again, I think Ellie would be great, but I think I want to open this up to everybody. So the question is, have you had to change your brand name? What were the fears before changing the brand name? Will it make a difference, or should Ralph just go for it? So I'll open the floor up. Ellie, if you're with us, please do jump in, because I think you'll be a great person to ask this question to.
I would say keep with the brand name and the brand recognition, and just build out, multiple blogs and advertising, and just drive it all back to him. Have fun, marketing pitches, and get more out there as far as personality and invoking interest. He can still have vacation, holiday, vacation, those keywords he can rank for, but I wouldn't start from scratch. It takes a long time to build traction into the brand, and the brand can be malleable. It can have different articulations of its personality, but there should be 3 core pillared words that that you can extrapolate creative avenues from, and then just define and redefine again and again, so long as you're still ranking in the keywords and driving interest to your direct site. That's my opinion.
That's interesting. So I like that. Does anybody else want to jump in on that? Sean, yourself, what would you do in this situation?
Yeah, so if you copy what some of the bigger hospitality companies they do, they create portfolios like Canopy by Hilton, Home Suites by Marriott, so they name their portfolios, or they name these curations, and you can brand those curations or portfolios separately, but they're still under the umbrella. So your main website, your main SEO campaign never takes a hit, but you just start to fold in these new portfolios. So if he's got this Nice collection kind of thing by his, umbrella brand, and then he does something somewhere else, like he's got his, like, these Dubai suites one day, he'll name that portfolio. So that way they can independently perform. But if anybody ever comes to his umbrella brand, he can get a trickle down of loyalty, from area to area.
I like that. And I know Ralph is tuning in. So when you do get this, please do let us know what you're thinking. But it's a very good question. And I know for a lot of people, especially when you start out, you don't really know where your properties are going to be, for example. I know a lot of people in America, they live in one part of the country and then their properties are somewhere else, and it may change, evolve, and it's a question that we get a lot through doing website design. People are buying domains and people worry about a domain because they think it's set in stone, but it really isn't. But some really good answers. Is there anybody else that's with us? Dave and John and Dina and Neil and Manisha or Liam, I think, if you're coming back. Anybody else you want to add to that? If not, forever hold your peace and we will... yes, go on, John, my friend. Thank you.
Add a little bit. I did rebrand my company once. When I first started, and I didn't take this as a serious business, I just called it Home Away Hawaii. And clearly, there were some issues with that. And so I rebranded it to Ohana Stay. And so, that's something that I went through. It was a little bit painful, but it was early enough in the business's lifespan that I thought it was fine. The one comment I would have is, it was Nice and France or Nice and Paris, and then now he wants to just change it to Nice, correct?
Yeah, that's basically it. So he's got properties. He had properties in Paris and Nice, and obviously COVID has ravaged the business, let's just say, because France has been some of the worst lockdowns. So got rid of the locations in Paris, and now it's all Nice. So Nice, everything is Nice. So it was called Paris Nice vacation rentals. It's changed slightly. So that's the quandrum. That's the thought process that's going around in his head at the moment.
So I guess, I kind of pigeonholed myself by using Ohana, which is a Hawaiian word in branding. But I intentionally did that because I really wanted to just focus on Hawaii. I'm positive Paris is going to come back. And if he starts, if he pigeonholes himself again, just by saying Nice, and then he starts picking up properties in Paris. So I guess my thought process would be, if he is going to rebrand, maybe it could be just a little bit more generic, so that, you know, as his business changes, it's not, oh, now I have to change my name again. That would be my one thought process.
Very good point.
I'm just going to add a little bit.
Yeah, we'll go Manisha and then Neil. But yeah, great. I love people jumping in on this.
So when we started, we just brand ourselves just by going KVM Properties and just thought, you know what, that's it. It'll be fine. And we started because we didn't know where we were going. We were just starting. We didn't know how far the business would go. It was something completely different when we started, and it changes with time. But what we did about 2 years ago, we went for a brand strategy exercise, which was a couple of hours, understanding your brand and understanding what you're doing, but also understanding what you want to do in the next 5 years to be able to start planning how your brand will change over the next 5 years. So that was very good for us, because I think we just started with anything to kind of just get going, you know, like they say, start and get better later. And that's what we did. We just started. But the branding exercise made it really clear in terms of what's our story, where are we coming from, what's the business for, why did we set up the business. And it was really important for us to go through that exercise, because it made us realize how important it was for us, but how important it was also to communicate our story to potential people coming in and staying with us. But also what was very important, when we started talking about the 5-year plan and what we wanted to do, there was already a need to start having different type of branding associated to the same brand. So I think sometimes we may think branding should come later on once we've got big enough, but I think it's always important where you can to start thinking about what do you need to do, what do you want to achieve in the next 5 years, and whether your brand will still be, you will be able to carry the current brand for the next 5 years. I think that's something to kind of think. And then rebrand yourself if you need to. So we rebranded ourselves. We rebranded with color that is we can associate to as our core value as a business, but also colors that represent our target audience. Because all the way service accommodation, we don't really focus on holiday. We only focus on business travelers, and more so on the low end, the blue and white collar type of workers. So for us, it was important that our brand had those colors that associate to them as well, and associate to people that we were talking. So I think it is important to kind of take a step back and start thinking about, okay, what do I want to achieve for the next 5 years? And what do I need to do now to make sure that my brand stay and live for the next 5 years? Whether that's, for us, we change it into KVM service accommodation, KVM investment, KVM coaching, and it just goes on as we expand. But there was a need for us to sit down and start thinking about the color we're going to change and how we're going to bring those subtle little difference to every new venture that we start with. I hope that was useful.
Very useful. Please join in, Neil.
Hey, yeah, I'm actually kind of going through this one thing as well. My company's YYC Short-Term Rentals. YYC is Calgary, the Calgary airport. People call Calgary YYC, but I have properties in Kitchener, Ontario, and I have properties in that I'm running in Edmonton. So I think I've outgrown my name. So just a bit of advice for people in the room: I wouldn't tie your brand name to a city. Just in case you actually expand, have a brand name that's more generic, that's not tied to a certain city. It might, I named it YYC Short-Term Rentals just because I thought it would be better for SEO specifically, because you search Calgary, it also searches YYC. But in retrospect, I probably wouldn't have done that and just named it something else.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So again, thank you very much for that. And Ralph is in the WhatsApp and he has said, thank you very much for answering the question, which was again, a really good one. And I'm glad we had so many different views on it. So the next question that we had, and this will be a short question because we've got 10 minutes until we're going to see out the final hour. And I'm going to open this up to everybody. I'm a massive fan of direct bookings. It's why I got into doing podcasts and Facebook groups and coaching and all that jazz, is to help hosts get more direct bookings. And we've got so many people in here who have got businesses all over the world. And what I would be really interested to know from people that are in here that are currently active is, when a guest comes and books with you via, say, an OTA, what are you doing after the stay to encourage guests to book direct next time? Because it's my belief that if a guest books with you via, say, booking.com, Airbnb, Vrbo, and if they ever rebook with you via an OTA, then it is 100% your fault. That should never, ever happen. But I'd be really interested to know what incentives you're giving, what you're doing, whether it's email, text, whatever it may be, for the guests, whatever, to come back and they book direct with you. And again, we've got 10 minutes of this. So who would like to jump in first? Mariah first, and then Liam. Let's go.
So, as you know, Smiling House is operating all around the world, but up in Gstaad, in the Swiss Alps, we are the property managers, and over there we're making sure everybody will come to stay at one of our chalets, to recognize, first of all, that it's a Smiling House home. We're giving a brochure, we're giving treats like local cheese, all kind of personal notes. We keeping in touch with the guest in the level of recommendation of hidden activities around the area. And from the other hand, we are giving them the kind of the overlook that we're hosting in other parts, different parts in the world. So we have quite a bit of returning customers, and not returning customers to the same house or even to the same country, but people who've been in one place and remember that we are hosting elsewhere, that are in touch with us. Of course, using the social media, the Instagram that we talked about a lot today, LinkedIn, because a lot of the kind of guests that we hosting are business people, are in LinkedIn, and other social media like Facebook, etc. So we're trying to be active in all of those in order to be in touch with our guests, to remind them about new destination. Once in few months, we are sending some kind of newsletter. I think it's very important not to over market, to do too much marketing to the guest, because for people not traveling constantly, they're not traveling all the time, and we should also pay attention a little bit to the fact that we should not kind of oversell it to them. We should be in touch with them in a level of holidays, maybe some kind of changing of seasons, and to give them a hint, a gentle hint that we are there and we are maybe happy to host them in a different way, or in another destination, or in another different season, not ski but sun, but not more than that. So we're trying to be, from one hand, kind of reaching out to the guest, but not too much. And I hope that that helped.
Liam, moving to you, buddy.
Thanks, Mark. So we talked a little bit about this last night, but we really start marketing to them about book and direct from the minute they book via whichever channel they've booked from. So as soon as they book, say, via Airbnb or booking.com, they'll be sent a message with an automated, we personalize the top of it, and the rest will say, thank you so much for booking with us. Just watch our welcome video below, which will talk about our terms and conditions, and for them to just follow the link, below that video after thanking them for booking with us. And that will then send them to our CRM effectively. So once they fill in that form, and if they agree to receiving communications from us, they'll get sent an automatic 10% discount for the next stay. And even in the brackets of that email, which is all automated, it does say, you can still, book direct with us instead if you have booked via an OTA. We do get a few people who, cancel down their bookings with the online travel agents and actually come direct to us, all outside of the messaging. So Airbnb and Booking.com don't see them messages. It's just all set up via our CRM. And then once they're in the property, we've just put up QR codes, a lot about the instructions, but some of them as well are just on the general sort of tables and stuff like that, which are QR codes with the message at the top saying, for the best rates, book direct. The Wi-Fi I mentioned earlier on is actually now branded Ginger and Gold Wi-Fi, and this is from Shamil from the last 24-hour Clubhouse room. And the password is now book direct as well. So we're really trying to, sort of get that message across there to come book direct. And I think one of the key things which we've changed is where we're just talking to our guests. So even in the welcome books now, there is one page dedicated towards just educating, people around. If you've booked via online travel agents like Booking.com or Airbnb, you may have paid slightly more than if you would have booked direct. Did you know that this isn't direct with the owner? And it's just a little bit of it's a paragraph or two just talking about why it's good to come direct to the owner, and they get a better deal out of it. The owner retains more of the income. And things around there. So obviously afterwards we can then market via the email as well. But I'd say it's the overall sensation of once they're in, one of those methods is going to hit home with them. And probably more than any of this, to really get the book direct, just echoing what Chris was saying earlier on, is that even if you're telling people to book direct, they won't do it unless you've really built that trust, and if they're really having a good time and experience a really good service. So probably the biggest way that we can then remarket for them to book direct is we'll give them all the means, make sure that they've got our contact, make sure that we're in touch with them via email. We can then remarket, sort of permission. But then the biggest way to market is actually making sure they've experienced a good stay and a good service, and to leave them with that message, to make sure they come back to us directly if they would like to stay in the future. So we do sort of a combination. I'd love if Sean is here just to weigh in with that awesome tip that he shared last night, if he's around.
Oh, though when I jumped back in this morning, I gave that tip about telling people why you love hosting and thanking them for making it possible. That one?
That one, yeah, that blew my mind. I've got that at the top of my action list from this room. I love it.
It's going to be in a video on YouTube tomorrow. So if anybody missed it, just get to that YouTube channel tomorrow when the video debuts. Thanks for the layup on that.
No worries. Love it.
Okay, we are coming in to the final hour. Make sure that you do stick around, Manisha. I will let you speak just for 3 minutes. I need somebody to speak for basically 3 minutes because I want to go get a beer and I need to go to the toilet. So we've got 3 minutes. Manisha, if you're going to talk for a good 3 minutes. I need to go run, go get a beer, come back for the final hour. Make sure you stick around because we've got a special guest coming in and it's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of entertainment. So Manisha, if you've got anything that you want to share, please do so, but make sure you keep on talking because I got to run.
Okay, all right. I'll keep it going for 3 minutes and repeat the same thing. I'm joking. Okay. In the last 5 years, we've tried many different things, from keeping leaflet, putting leaflet in the property, telling them about booking directly, encouraging them to kind of give us reviews and to like our page and things like that. We've done that. We've tried that. We've tried sending emails out after they've stayed with us and giving them offers, sending them offers. But what I found that worked better than everything else we've done so far is to follow up with a phone call after they stay with us. So after they've stayed with us, one member staff will call them within a maximum of 3 to 4 days after they've stayed with us, or 3-4 days before they leave as well. What we try to do is we try to talk to them about their stay, how they found in their stay, was everything okay, if they have any problem, and if they're coming back in the area. And that's how we would know whether they potentially back in their area again. And if we know that, then we will automatically ask them, would you like to stay with us if we give you a discount and book directly with us? And that's what we tend to do. So most, or I would say most, probably about 98%, we might have lost 2% out of it, but 98% of the people that stayed with us and coming back to work here would normally book with us directly. And I think going back to what Liam was saying earlier, it's all about the service that you give them. And if you really provide an awesome service where they've been able to stay, enjoy, have a very comfortable bed, that is like your top number one priority. If you're aiming for business travelers. So I'm just going to close the door because little ones are being quite noisy. So if you are marketing to travelers, business travelers, they are always very appreciative to the fact that you have a really good mattress. So we always invest more money to make sure we have very, very good mattress in all our properties, and make sure that, you know, we do tell them as well. So we do put it in our description. We're quite proud of it. We make a point of telling them about it. So when they kind of stay with us, they kind of know beforehand because it will be in the description. When they stay with us and they get the call, we always talk about, have you had a comfortable stay? We've taken extra care to make sure you have the most comfortable mattress to be able to sleep on. So we make a point about that all the time to try and get them to understand, you know, if you stay here, you know, you will have a good night's stay, and that's what you need from work. So we tend to do that just before them going, so a couple of days before they finishing, or like 2 days, depending on how long they've booked. And then we'll just make sure they come back. And that always worked better than just leaving it for them to contact you, because the problem is if they're staying in the apartment, they might not be the person who's doing the booking, so they're not really interested in taking the leaflet and take it back to the person who's doing the booking, or sometimes they don't even meet that person who's doing the booking, and they're not going to actually say anything because there's no incentive for them, because the person who's paying for the booking has not actually seen your leaflet with your discount. Now, if you're sending the email, and obviously you've got the right person email address, because sometimes they'll book, but they will also change it and put the guest email address because they want you to communicate everything going forward with the guest. Again, you might be emailing the guest and not the person who's booked. So it's very important to try and get to the person who's doing the booking. Sometimes you'll call and they'll say, well, I'm not doing it. There's somebody in the office, usually it's the lady in the office who does it. So it's easier to get a phone number from them or the company name to be able to contact the company and then follow up with the company. So for us, what we've found that works really well is just contacting the guests. Once you've spoken to them, there's a guarantee of you closing the deal the same day.
Amazing.
I think Mark is here.
I'm back. No, I'm back. I've got my beer, and fantastic. Thank you. I was loving that. I agree with everything. So here we go. I did promise something special, and I would love for everybody to draw their attention to the gentleman that has just joined us, Ding. He is the sales rapper. Now, I'm going to just let you know how I discovered Ding, and then I want him to come in, and it's going to be a fantastic hour. So I discovered this gentleman via a LinkedIn post. He put the post up, somebody that I'm in contact with liked it. I checked it out, and I instantly fell in love with what he does and how he uses his talents for content creation and all of the above. So Ding, if you're able to just unmute your microphone for me, please. If you could just very quickly give a super quick bio, how you came to doing this, and just let us know what you are going to be doing with the room for the next sort of hour.
Yeah, absolutely. Mark, thank you for having me today and for the amazing introduction. So I'm Ding like a doorbell. I'm the sales rapper. The sales comes first, but then I rap. So a little about me. I've been making rap music, recording songs, singer-songwriter type of thing for about 13, 14 years at this point. And for the bulk of my early artistic journey, not really seeing success on the music side. And in 2017, as I was entering my senior year of college, I decided, hey, this music thing really isn't working out. I got to find a way to sustain myself, right? So I quit doing music. I fell into the world of B2B SaaS sales and software as a service, and was able to really thrive in that environment, adopting the mindset of, hey, how can I serve my buyer? How can I talk to a pain point or a problem specific, and then align myself as a trusted consultant offering a solution. And that was the mindset that I took over, once I restarted the rap side. So I lost my job in 2020 as a result of COVID. And, from there, didn't have the easiest time job hunting, finding a new account executive position. So I decided, hey, let me look inside, turn inside. What do I have that's valuable as a service that I could sell? Because I knew I could sell. So let me go do that. And that's where Sales Rap was born. And then you couple that in with some LinkedIn, Clubhouse content creation. And I've been fortunate to be able to grow a brand in the B2B space, rapping, making jingles about a valuable B2B product or service. So this is Ding, done speaking. And what we're doing for the next hour or so with the great invitation from Mark is we're going to be actually doing live freestyle. So in addition to making branded Sonic content, I also freestyle in Clubhouse. So what we'll be doing is we'll take song or beat requests from the room, literally rapping on whatever y'all want me to rap on. And I'm going to actually open up your bios on Clubhouse and freestyle about whatever it is that's on your profiles, selling your products, your services for you here in this room live.
This is why I wanted to get Ding in here, because there's going to be a lot of fun for the final hour. So the people that are on stage with us, Dave, Liam, Simon, Mariah, Sean, Adam, John, Manisha, Ellie, Dina, and Neil, if you want to amend anything in your bio, now is the time to do it, because it's going to be a ton of fun in this last hour of the show. So how is this going to work, Ding? What do you need from us, from the people that are on stage? And moderators, if you are with us, just flash your microphones if you are live and with us, because this is going to be a bit of fun. Here we go. Okay, Ding. So first and foremost, what do you need from us to give you inspiration for some freestyle rap?
Sure, Mark. So let's, I'll give you guys kind of a demonstration right now. So I have a beat queued up, and I'm going to show you guys the format, what it's going to look like. So I'm just going to play something quick for the first minute. I'll show you guys a sample, and I'll start from the top to bottom in PTR order. After that, you guys feed me the beats. Tell me what songs you want to hear me on. If you want it a cappella, if you want it with auto-tune on. Let me show you what the auto-tune sounds like. We can do this sound too. Right?
That is amazing.
So without further ado, let's give y'all a demo, from the sales parlance. Wait for the internet to load. Come on, YouTube.
Axel.
Yeah. Hey. How's the sound?
Yeah, good. I can hear it.
Yeah. How to do a UK song one time for Mark, you feel me? Yeah. Look like a pimp, really I'm limping. Right here with Mark, yeah, shout out Mark Simpson. Yellow background in this profile pic, Brody lit, yeah. I'm in a room, everyone like, holy. Had to censor myself on a thing before I answer myself as Ding, yeah. Let me just pick up the call, and the telephone ring. Shout out to Mark, he the head mod, and he the founder of the 24-hour hospitality clubhouse room an hour. Give him his flowers, don't look so sour. Helping Airbnb and hospitality, yeah, the people get dour. Yeah, ain't no extra stress. What you get those hosts for? Yeah, more heads on beds. Free resources, he's resourceful. The Boostly podcast, tell it in your soul. Yeah, work it quick. Hip Mark for the paid services. Website design, content creation, coaching, yeah, it's worth it. Let me just switch to the next. You know that I see him. Talking about Caroline, yeah, my Liam. Service accommodation specialist, he was so special. Rent to rent Airbnb portfolio, extra levels. On a mission to empower others, he's my brother, yeah, no sucker. Let me just do it and run up, yeah, no buffer. On a mission to empower every hour, yeah, I challenge you. Norfolk base core blast, bruh, yeah, that's true. Devoted father and family man, yeah, he's got a family plan. Let me just go, hey, and give you the answers. Everyone in the room, just put up your arms. Let me see everybody's hands. Shout out to Simon Layman. Entrepreneur, thought leader, and he's a CTO. I mean CEO, but he's smart tech CTO. Yeah, people on the stage just lining up because they really want to see me flow. Whoa, and I do the bio reading like it's easy mode. Battle, you know rap is not a hassle. Shout out to Simon for travel. Maybe we don't have a battle. Yeah, so many sticks in the grass and I bet I could just hear them all rattle. Yeah, he and his snitches, Simon and Dewey on tattle. Happy dad of 5 children, yeah, Lord willing. Love to the gardening, do the greens with all the feelings. He's a good guy in the garden, he's not a villain. Yeah, founder at AJL, you know we all chillin'. Partner in short-term rental industry. Yeah, so good with a rental, Simon probably got rental enemies. Nah, we done been celebrating your rentals, get a Hennessy. And shout out to Mariah Energy. Yeah, goddamn, they was come through like Rockman. Yeah, everyone follow it, follow. And I'll see you tomorrow. No room should be hollow. Yeah,
Axel.
No time for no sorrow.
Wow. So fun. So cool.
All right, everybody, you got to make sure you hit that plus button and invite people in, everybody in, because this is a chance to witness something very cool, very different, and I love having people like Ding come into our world and see and witness something like this. So Ding, that was amazing. Thank you very much. Take a drink, take a sip, and everybody please do go and check him out. He is on Instagram at Ding Raps, also on LinkedIn as well. That's where I discovered him. So please do go and say hey in the chat. And again, that is fantastic. Are we good to do another? You want to have a chat before you do another? Is there anything you want to talk about? Anything that's on mind?
Sure, I'm open to chat about whatever. First of all, Mark, I'm curious. Give me a bit more color on this room, like what the purpose, what the theme is, so I can better tailor the content as we go forward.
That's a good idea. So basically, what we're doing is we're doing a 24-hour Clubhouse room for hospitality owners. We've got people in here all over the world. We've done Australia, we've done Japan, a lot of Americans, Canadians, people in South America, Middle America. We've got England, Europe, you name it, and everybody's connected via hospitality. So you've got people that are doing hotels, guest houses, one rental property, multiple rental properties. We've got people that have got YouTube channels with hundreds of thousands of followers where he shows people how to start and scale and grow Airbnb. We've got people in here who are, with Mariah, looking after luxury properties. And we're all connected via hospitality, and we've come together to do this to give support, because out of there's tons of industries out there that have been affected in the last year, but hospitality has definitely been one. And I do this. This is my third time doing the 24-hour Clubhouse room. It's definitely, I can say 99% going to be the last one because it takes a lot out of me, but it's fantastic. And I'm so glad to be able to reach out to you and for you to get back, to be able to jump into this room and give the last hour of doing this 24-hour and make it what I believe is what business is all about: fun and profits. And this is where the fun comes in. I'm very grateful to be able to reach out to somebody like yourself to come in and provide something that nowhere else is doing right now on Clubhouse. So thank you so much for doing that. Hopefully that provides a little bit more of what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark. Appreciate the color. It's so great, coming from the B2B revenue space over here on LinkedIn to see, the same type of collaborative energy in other verticals and in other platforms like Clubhouse. And Mark, appreciate you, for tying in the combination of creative as well as business, right? Especially after last year when everyone was forced home and all business was conducted online, it became a pretty saturated field, right? Especially on the B2B side, everyone was pushing boring seminars and dry white papers in terms of business content. So the fact we're here, we're all together, having a good time, getting your bio wrapped about it's super awesome to see that there is more support, more demand for these creative entertainment type pieces in the professional space.
So let me just ask you,
Mark. Shout out to all the moderators.
I appreciate it. Let me just very quickly ask you about that room that you did. Now, the post that I'm talking about is where the founder of Clubhouse discovered you because you were doing a room which was basically called Wrapping Up Your Bios. You had, 3,000 people in your group at one point, viral group, and you had one of the founders of Clubhouse tweet about you. Is that right? So what's the story behind that? What gave you the idea to do it? Like what has been life been like since going viral on Clubhouse?
Sure, Mark. Amazing question there, teeing up. I would say, the basic premise, rapping about your bio. It's something that, since early January when I joined Clubhouse, I've been experimenting with in this channel. I've actually been doing something similar on Discord, which is another audio forward platform originally made for gamers. So I've been doing this format for about 5-6 years at this point, starting in 2015, creating and helping grow a Discord server for freestyle rapping in that channel to about 14,000 members on Discord. So when I was able to migrate over to Clubhouse early this year, it was a pretty seamless fit in terms of having an audio forward platform. So over the past couple of months, I've been doing the singing or freestyling about your bio rooms to not as much traction or success, with rooms averaging about 20-30 people. And about a week and a half ago, last Thursday, I did another one of those rooms. It was actually funny story. I was feeling kind of tired that day. But I had made a commitment to myself, hey, I'm going to stream 2 times a week, every single week. So I was feeling tired. I didn't want to do it, but then I looked at my calendar. A lot of meetings booked in the next couple of days. So I said, all right, hey, man, discipline. It's time to walk the walk. So I pulled up a room, about first 30 minutes, no one really coming in. We were about 12 people in that room. And then Nick Kaufman, my buddy Nick, I'm not sure if he's here. He's the new head of trending and programming at Clubhouse, pops in the room, doing his A&R, the Clubhouse room talent scouting. It's like, hey, this is pretty dope. And then word gets out in their back channels, hey, there's a guy that's freestyling about people's bios. Paul comes in the room, shout out Paul Davison, the CEO of Clubhouse, comes in the room, is like, hey, this is pretty dope, ends up tweeting about it. Clubhouse, their Twitter account ends up following me, tweets about it, and then the room keeps growing. Fadia comes in, Just Blaze, the mega producer, comes in. We had all the big Clubhouse names on there. We peaked at about 3,500 people. So, it's been a cool experience so far. But for me personally, right, I tend to look at it from a more grounded or business opportunity point of view. Coming from the world of B2B sales, at this point, I see myself more as a marketer, more as a salesperson than a musician. So there's an interesting dynamic where a lot of people are saying, hey, Ding, you're an artist, you're a rapper, and suddenly you have all this attention on you. Are you going to go and pursue your music or your creative dreams? And that's not quite the full picture, right? Because one of my core tenets is, like Mark and I talked about earlier, bringing that creative spirit, fostering this sense of being different, being human, and standing out in the professional space. That's something that's really important to me as someone who was formerly kind of a stiff corporate suit working for Yelp. And, now, with the times changing, there is more space for more creative stuff. So I want to keep,
Nice.
doing what I'm doing right now to continue fostering.
Well, that's where, they always say it's like 6 degrees of separation. We right there have like a 1 degree of separation. I used to work for Yelp as well, Yelp London, back in the day. So we've got a little connection right there. All right, so buddy, let's do another one of them. If you're happy to do another freestyle rap because it went down so well. I had so many WhatsApp messages just to deal with them. People are going, oh wow, who is this guy? So let's do another. So is there anything different you would like to do? A different beat or a different? Do you want the moderators, the people on the stage with us, to throw any topics at you, or how do you want to do another one of these?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's do a different format each time. You can hear I have the autotune on right now.
Yeah.
So what we could do is, why don't we go around the room in PTR order, and each moderator gives me a word or a phrase that you want me to throw in the freestyle.
All right, I will go. I will go
I'll go
first.
down the list as I'm rapping, just to make sure everyone knows. Hey, this is live and on the spot.
I like this. I will go first, and then whoever's. I mean, I've refreshed my screen, and everybody's moved around like crazy. But I'll go first. I'll say Airbnb. I'll add that in. Airbnb. Seeing that this is a lot of people in here who have an Airbnb property. Who's next?
Do you want me to go next?
Go for it, buddy. Go for it.
Yeah.
That's right, Dave.
I'm just gonna wrap things up a little bit here. I'm gonna say the word sausage.
Oranges. Superhost.
Who else? Sean, come on. I know you got something here. John.
All right.
Arbitrage.
Arbitrage. John.
Let's put in RevPar.
RevPar. Love it. So these are very.
How do you spell RevPar?
Yeah, REVPAR. So there's a few hospitality-related phrases in there with arbitrage and RevPar and Airbnb, and then Liam and Dave have gone sausages and oranges, which is an insight into how their minds work.
I love
and
this.
So, just so you know, RevPAR has to do with the amount of money you're making. We won't get into details, but RevPAR is like a metric for income. So you can, if you're talking about money, RevPAR will fit.
Mariah, I can see you've unmuted. What do you want to add in?
Yeah, so of course STR. And if you can, 2021.
So not to be confused with STD, that's STR and 2021.
Wait, just to confirm, you're talking about SDR, like a sales development rep.
No, this is short-term rental, like short-term rental.
Short-term rentals.
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
short-term rentals. So yeah, this is.
I love the acronyms. Hey, we're in the professional space. Yeah.
Exactly. So when you are ready, my friend, you can do your thing, and everybody get ready. Please do again. Tap the plus button, share, and get people in on this because this is fantastic. I'm loving the creativity.
Oh yeah, we in the Airbnb room. Mark, Dave, Liam, John, everything. I got my auto-tune. Now we up on Clubhouse. I'm about to say the words. Looking at my list. I'm looking at my list. Careful what it is. Young thing about to spin. Yeah, I'm looking at my list. Yeah, we on Clubhouse in the Airbnb and hospitality room. 24 hours. Shooting on 24 hours. 24 hours. Okay. Yeah. I see the term and conditions. I'ma carefully read. Yeah, I had to get the rental on Airbnb, but the customers complaining it was barely a tweet. Yeah, you can get that milk splash dairy for free. How dare you say that my rentals are not the best? It was all dishonest jest, coming with no ladies like a sausage fest. Yeah, you want the breakfast platter? Okay, I got all the eggs. Yeah, WD-40 for my door hinges. I had to get the vitamin C from the oranges. Yeah, you was all there, orange. I think that I'm better go all in. All the people, yeah, we do the most. And put the better, I use the toast. Okay, haunted, who's the ghost? Yeah, 5 out of 5, that's a super host. Airbnb is the hardest job. Right now, deal with the arbitrage. Yeah, you couldn't park the garage. Yeah, in the apartments. See that whip like a red car. And I'm here, I'm about to spit, give you my best bars. We be talking about the stats and the money. I'm rapping it funny, not in a rev par. Yeah, 2021, getting money. Yeah, the whole world coming back. It ain't bummy, had a bummy, but it's alright, cause I rap it like a mummy. And it's 1 time, 2 time, let me drop a few rhymes. Pull up in a sexy car, we talking SDR, short-term rental. I'ma rap the instrumental, I've been doing it so mental, it get poppin' like a pimple. Now I'm out of words, so I go around the room. I am a king ding, so crown me soon. Yeah, tell me, can I rap yet? Right now? Oh, shout out Ellie Paget. This is my whole life. She the founder at Home Slides. Prefer my title is hospitality creativist. Yeah, nothing can challenge it. I just hope I
might not fail. We in Arizona, Cactus in the Scottsdale. We got yachts as well, with the charters. International vacation rentals we can barter. Doing hot girl shit on this platform. I see John and he's singing me in my rap form. Yeah, like always. Real estate development in Ohio State. Yeah, I know they like me. Get the checks like it's Nike. We in Hawaii. Who you might be? 20, 200K a year. Property is money. Love playing around with STR technology. John, since a young age, been a prodigy. I can see Adam there in the prophecies. He's gonna make a lot of green, yeah, probably. Oh, my why is my boy. Give you the passion and the purpose, yeah, don't get destroyed. You online, you dancing and acting, using your voice. Yeah, go rent with them, make a choice. Property investor, buy to let, he doing it better. Service accommodation, no effort. Yeah, he in Liverpool and Stoke with a sweater on. There it is, sports therapist. Love to travel, it's not a hassle, just go now. I see Deanna still, how we throw down. Luxury short-term rental. Yeah, by the T like it's dental. Top 1% in Okanagan Valley, I got it. VIPs, yeah, be like me. Public figures is gonna be like lead.
Wow, well done.
Amazing.
All right, everybody. If that hasn't worth a follow already, please do go and make sure you follow Ding. Because what I love about this guy, when it comes down to it, is that he is somebody that is, again, on LinkedIn, very present on LinkedIn, and yet is coming into things like this and doing like a freestyle rap. It's a fantastic to see. And again, he is his LinkedIn. I've been stalking it over the past week since discovering this guy. And again, he talks about content creation and things that so many of us can put into practice in the hospitality business, which is amazing. So thank you for that. And again, everybody, if you can do so, hit that plus button and invite people into the room to enjoy the final 35 minutes now of a 24-hour marathon. I have just drank a very strong Belgian beer, so this is going to be a very enjoyable last 35 minutes for myself before I no doubt will crash out. So Ding, thank you very much for that. And what I want to do for the next one, when you are ready, I would love to invite, because we have got a lot of people who are in the audience who have been part of this for a large part of the last 24 hours. And if you are up for it, buddy, what I was going to do is I was going to invite up, and I'm going to open up the chat. And if anybody wants to come up and have their bio collectively freestyle rapped by Ding, just put your hand up, raise your hand, and we will get you up onto the stage. And again, we'll just pick a couple. Ding will pick a couple, and we will get you up onto the stage, and you can do so. So, a question that I got, Ding, while we're doing that, you posted on LinkedIn, I think about a month ago now, and it's one of like your featured posts, and it's something that I read, and again, there's so many cool comments on it, which was about, you said 365 days since I started creating content. So if you could just, again, that post is something that's got over 55 comments, 195 likes and engagement on it. When it comes to creating content, again, you said a year ago you started doing it. We've got so many people here who run businesses, and I feel that creating content for a lot of people, especially hospitality owners, is hard. So when you come, and the advice that you would give, if there was a business owner now who would come to you and say, Ding, I know I need to be present on social media, I know I need to be doing these things, but I just don't have the inspiration or the time to do so. What would be like your advice that you would give to somebody?
Sure, that's a great question. Let me turn off my effects. So there's kind of a few things to unpack there, right, Mark? So first off, with a bit of background on what content creation means for me. When I speak about, I've been creating content for a year. What I really mean is I've actually been creating content, as a musician, as an individual, detached from my professional brand. For like 13 years or so, right? But creating content in a B2B or in a professional context with your professional brand, I think, is a completely different animal entirely, right? Because generally, when we're creating content for content's sake, right? Say you're YouTube, you're a content creator. What does that mean? You're trying to get eyeballs and attention, right? But for a B2B content creator, there's one more layer to that. Is let's say you sold a software that helps HR departments. Well, you're not going to be creating content for restaurant managers, right? So that's kind of the key here is, you want to start with a very clear reason why you're making content. Is it to build your brand, to get more visibility in your category? Are you looking to drive inbound lead generation? Right? Or are you trying to create demand in a market so when you go outbound, people already know who you're calling from and what your software, your service does? So that's kind of the crux of B2B content creation is, it is hyper-focused. You're not trying to please every single person, right? You have, let's say, a lot of people in this room, Airbnb hosts short-term rentals. It seems like for content creation on your end, right, you probably want to be targeting your buyers, which are the people that the rentees. I want to say
guests. Just say guests. It's okay. Yeah, just say guests.
Yeah, the guests, exactly, right? Like that's who you're looking to create content for. So then that alone should already help you in terms of direction, right? You probably want to focus. What could be good content is, let's say you have properties in Hawaii. Right, then making travel style videos showing off, hey, how fun it is over here. Right, generating that demand. Oh wow, this place in Hawaii looks awesome. You can, there's these activities on the beach. There's this nature thing. Relax with I don't know the exact features, but right, kind of make it human, make it live. Don't talk about, oh, dude, this Airbnb is so awesome. This rental unit, we got to put that in there, right? Like that should be, as part of your comprehensive marketing. But when you're doing the actual content, people aren't coming to your Airbnb or traveling to wherever you are because the accommodations themselves are amazing, right? They're probably there for the overall experience. And I think you could talk to that a little bit more, find out the real drivers behind why your buyers are behaving in such a way. What are the buying triggers? And then talk to those points.
Yeah, I love that. So again, I think everybody can, it's been repeated quite a lot over the last sort of 24 hours when it comes to marketing. You're not talking about yourself. You are talking to your guest and you are being a brand ambassador for your local area, wherever that may be. Because again, when a guest comes and stays at your property, we are naive to think if they're going to spend 100% of the time in the property, they're only going to be there for a minimal amount of time. The most of the time, they're going to be checking out the local area. They're going to be wanting to go explore. And so you become a local brand ambassador and talking about these things, and it just goes crazy. Now, let's just very quickly, before we do another round of this, because I know we've got Michelle who's come up, and we've got Estelle who jumped into the room, and we've got people that are going to come in and out of the room, so you can do your work on, which will be very interesting to do again. Just talk about, so obviously you've come away from Yelp, and now what does the current basically, what are you doing now? So you obviously doing the sales wrapper. Is there anything else you're doing? Like, what are your plans now for the rest of 2021?
Give me a second, Mark. My microphone is cut out. 1 second. Let me fix
That's
this.
okay, buddy. So whilst Ding is sorting out his microphone, if you could all do me a massive favor, we are into the last 30 minutes of this 24-hour room. We've gone live streamed for 24 hours. Please, can you do me one massive favor and just hit that plus button that you see there and just invite tons of people into the room. Doesn't matter if they're offline or whatever, just invite them in. And also as well, just please go and follow the speakers that are up here that have given their time. We've got pieces of hours totally for free, and just to do it to help you. So again, doesn't matter what stage of your hospitality journey you are in, whether you are learning, wanting to get going, getting started, just started, been doing it for many years or whatever. So please do follow. And again, there's so many people up on the stage here who have got YouTube channels and education software and all those sort of things. Please do go and follow and reach out and go and learn more. Ding, how are we doing? Are you back with us? As the microphone sorted?
You know what? Let me answer the questions via speakerphone first, so we keep the room moving right along.
That's okay.
Yeah. So what I'm doing right now is the Sales Wrapper or something. It's a brand company that I've been kind of experimenting with for the past couple of months. So it's turning started from customized sonic jingles, what have you, about a brand. Now it's looking more like fractional head of marketing type of work. So let's say you're a early stage company or solopreneur, early operation. That you're scaling to the point where you might need marketing services. This is where I kind of come in. Adopting some of the frameworks on the best practices from my B2B marketing consultant relationship with a company called Dooley based in Vancouver, and we kind of optimize your overall branding, your content strategy, and your positioning, your messaging, what have you. So that's what I've been doing. Continuing making the sales wraps, so to speak. And the ultimate goal here is, as a creative, right? I didn't have a great experience as a musician, and ultimately I had to put down my mic at one point because it wasn't something that was putting food on the table, right, or paying the bills. So what I see a big demand in the B2B or the professional side where non-traditional outside of entertainment or the music industries, there's a lot of need right now for more creative work and more more engaging content. But there's also a detachment from the creative space to the professional space. So, my ultimate aim is to bridge those two gaps and give creatives and artists, another opportunity to keep doing what they love and enjoy, but also make money from it, right? Rather than playing the Spotify game, rather than signing 360 deals where, people only end up making about 19% of all the revenue they generate. So
that was really interesting. And you mentioned something right at the start that hit me, because there's 3 other people that have mentioned it now over the course of the last 24 hours, is Discord. So you are using Discord. Is that correct? Are you currently on that platform using it?
That's right.
Yeah. And the other people that have used it, so we had Luca, who uses Discord, and Luca heads up, which is called the Trips community, which is cryptocurrency, which is a community that he's built via Discord, which is fantastic. We've got John that uses it, and he says a lot of gamers use it, and obviously you said you use it. And again, I think it's a platform that so many people haven't even heard of. So how would you best describe Discord to somebody that has never ever heard of it before, to someone like me who's maybe looked at it, doesn't really get it? How would you best describe Discord to somebody who is so new to it?
Sure, Mark. So Discord, I would categorize it, right? We look at the history of Discord. It started as an offshoot from TeamSpeak, which is a way for gamers, on a PC to be able to talk to each other in the same voice chat while they're playing a game. So Discord is a Slack style, platform. You have direct messages, you have, spaces, right, as we're used to on Slack. Excuse me. So it kind of looks like Slack, but with a much more robust voice chat feature built in. And the other use case I would compare it to is, think of it as Clubhouse without the discovery feature. So you're invited to a server on Discord, right? Much like a gaming server. And there's options for text chats, for text channels, where written text, video, or photographic image content can live permanently. So it's a little different than Clubhouse, but there's also the spontaneous, instantaneous voice chat channel element of it. But because it is all in, the individual servers, there's no way for us to say, hey, ping people into this room, or to go in your hallway and organically discover.
So how is that microphone looking? Are you good?
Yeah, let's test it out.
Because what I was going to do, because we've got the final 25 minutes now, and I'd love after you do another round of freestyle rap to talk us out. But what I would love to do actually is have the moderators and the people on stage just to give themselves a bit of a promo, like a 1-minute promo, share their socials, etc. And then we can come back to you afterwards if that sounds good. Gives you a chance to do what you need to do.
Cool with me, Mark. Yeah, I think it's set up now, but I would love to hear everyone's intros.
Okay, so what I would love for to do, again, these moderators, the people that are up on stage right now, and Nichelle, I do see you there. We are going to, and Ding, when you do your next round, make sure you please include Nichelle and her bio in your freestyle rap, because she came up to the stage specifically for that, which is fantastic. But Dave, Liam, Mariah, Noble, Sean, Adam, John, Ellie, Dina, Neil, please, again, keep it to a minute, but just let everybody know if they want to find out more about you and what you're doing, how they can do so, social media channels, downloads, whatever it may be. So we'll start with Dave, and then we'll go Liam, and then Mariah, then Noble, then Sean. So please do that. And once we get through that, then we'll finish off with another freestyle rap, which I'm so looking forward to. And then we'll close this out. So Dave, over to you, buddy. How can people find out more about you if they want to?
Yeah, thanks, thanks, Mark. So if you want to find out more about me, you can come and visit our Clubhouse rooms every morning, which is from the We Talk Property. We do a property coffee meet from 7 o'clock till 8:30 every morning. You can get me on pretty much all the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm on all of them. So just hit my face right now. Check out my bio. You can pretty much check out everything that I do in there. Feel free to join any of the groups that I've got. I've got a few of them as well, so no problem at all. That's it from me.
Epic. Liam?
Thanks, Mark. Can I just say this last 24 hours has been so enjoyable, and I feel really honoured. There's so much information, so many awesome legends up on this Clubhouse, and just really, really enjoyed it. And the amount of value is massive. I've learned a lot, and hopefully everybody else have as well. You can hear I'm completely. I've had one beer since we've been doing this, and certainly winding down now. So yeah, if people want to get in touch with me, all you need to do is click on my face, go down to my Instagram, and click the link to my Flow page. You can get me on LinkedIn. You can follow my Facebook page. We've now got an email list as well. Feel free to join that. And if anybody wants any of the free resources that I've talked about today, which there's been lots, so I won't bother going through them, but feel free to send me a DM and I will send them to you. Thank you very much, guys.
Amazing. Mariah, if you're there.
Yes, so again, thank you so much, Mark, for this marathon. It was wonderful. I learned so much, and this last piece with Ding, so cool. I'm just amazed. So my name is Mariah Rockman. You can click on my profile over here and connect through Instagram to Smiling House. You can find me under Mariah Rockman in LinkedIn, and I'll be happy to connect over there. And we have a Facebook for Smiling House, and just also, you can feel free with writing to me directly and email mariah@smilinghouse.ch. I would love to speak with each and every one of you. I'm just becoming a big student, learning from so many, and feeling like sharing knowledge is the new thing. Thank you, Mark, for making it possible.
And don't forget, Mariah has donated a fantastic prize that I would love everybody to be a part of. So to win a 2-night stay at her fantastic Swiss chalet with spa for up to 14 people, all you need to do is to go and follow Smiling House Luxury on Instagram. Tap on Mariah's face, click on Instagram, go and follow it, and then go and register for next week's free training. boostly.co.uk/STR. We've got Sean taking part, Mariah's taking part, Chris Morn's taking part, Ryan Luke, who founded it, who's in this room, he's obviously founded it, he's going to run it, he's taking part. We've got Ellie, we've got so many other amazing people that I can't even think of right now. I'm going to do a session on direct bookings. So again, go and register, boostly.co.uk/STR. Go follow Mariah at Smiling House, and then over the course of the next few days, Mariah will pick a winner, and you will win a fantastic stay. So again, thank you for that.
And launch the spa, launch the sauna in front of the Alps. Don't forget.
Launch the spa, the sauna, all the beautiful things. Again, thank you for doing that, Mariah. That's amazing. And also as well, Mariah's going to be speaking at the Book Direct show, which is in London in September. I'm going to be there. My first in-person event since the...
I'm going to see you there, Mark.
Since the 11th of March 2020, which is crazy. In-people event, seeing people that's not my kids and my wife is going to be bizarre, but I'm looking forward to getting on a plane and getting to London town. All right, Noble, coming to you, my friend. If anybody wants to find out more about what you're doing, the podcast, etc., if you are with us, flash that mic. Here we go. How can we find out more about you, my friend?
Hey, Mark, appreciate it. So awesome job on another 24-hour room. I know how grueling that is. I was tapped into almost 1 a.m. last night, so it was great conversation with a bunch of moderators. So folks that are listening, please make sure you're tapped in with Mark and all the mods on stage, and so that you're aware of any time they're speaking here in Clubhouse. But folks who are interested in tapping in with me can certainly just follow me here on Clubhouse. And then also you can join the Hospitality Cash Flow Club every Thursday evening at 7 p.m. Central U.S. time. And with that, Mark, again, I appreciate it. It's been great, and we'll talk to you soon.
You're a good man. Sean, Mr. Airbnb Automated, where can they go to find out more about you, my friend?
Yo, Sean Airbnb Automated on that YouTube. Coming at you freestyle with the flow. Here we go. Like, just kidding. But, dude, this has been super fun. You guys can find me on YouTube, Airbnb Automated, where I will teach you for free how to Airbnb. I specialize in teaching people how to use other people's properties, rental arbitrage. Tomorrow morning, like very early tomorrow morning, I'm dropping that video where we talk about the 10 tips to host better in 2021. We gave away one of those tips today a couple times on Clubhouse. Also, just click on my face, give it a read. We all have faces up here, and if you click on it, like a bio pops up. It's super cool. And I've got an Instagram link down below. If you want to register for a masterclass I'm holding tomorrow evening, just text me Clubhouse in my DMs on Instagram. And I believe I'm doing it 7 p.m. Central, but once I lock in the exact time, I will shoot you all an invite link. So thank you for spending 24 hours with us. This was super fun. Mark, you are a champ. And thanks for having me.
My absolute pleasure. I love that you did that. That's fantastic. Adam, if you are there, my friend, where can people find out more about you? Where can they chat with you?
They can. Good evening. Mark, again, just echoing everything that the other guys have said. I did your last 24 hours pretty much from start to finish. Had a few hours sleep, been diving in and out today. Just everyone that's been involved, it's been absolutely fantastic. As people know, I'm a dancer actor. I'm self-employed, so I've used property and service accommodation to sort of help fund life when I'm in and out of contracts. So I like to have chats. We run Clubhouse rooms, so helping self-employed people, helping new people get into property. You can follow me, Adam Galbo, on Clubhouse, Adam Galbo on Instagram. Feel free to drop DMs and messages if you just want to, if you're new, want to chat. And just I don't offer training or mentorship, but I can certainly point you in the direction of where to go with people like that. So but there's millions of people and there's some fantastic people who do that on stage, so I don't really need to do that myself. But if you just want to chat and network, feel free, drop me a DM. Thanks again, Mark. It's been a great 24 hours.
And that's why I love having you in the room. Thank you very much for joining in. It's my absolute pleasure. Dina, again, I want everybody to go and follow Dina's Instagram account, because if you're looking on inspiration on how to document your day-to-day as a hospitality owner, I can't think of a better place to go than Dina's account. So please do go and check that out. But where's the best place to chat to you if anybody wants to find out more?
You're so kind, Mark. Instagram is where I hang out all the time. I do have a Facebook group for Airbnb real estate investments in our city. So if you're in Canada or interested in real estate in British Columbia, send me a DM on Instagram and I will get you connected with that Facebook group that we have here. So that's where I hang out, and I'd love to see everybody on Instagram. I think it's such a valuable place to build trust. So if you're not on there, get on there.
Amazing. Okay, we're going to go Ryan Ellie and John, and then Ding, I'm going to hand back to you to finish off this room with another freestyle rap, and then Neil and Nichelle, make sure you wait because Ding may be rapping about you. So Ryan, Mr. Ryan Luke, talk about the summit, talk about how people can find out more about you, and off you go, my friend.
I'm not sure I've got any energy left after today, honestly. What a disaster. But I'm not talking about the 24-hour room, obviously. Of all the days, something to go wrong. But hey-ho, here we are. Mark, thanks again. Obviously, amazing room putting it on. And thanks to everyone that jumped in for me when I was meant to be in my slots as well. So appreciate the help. Hit me up on Instagram. I've got a flow page. It takes you through everything. officialryanluke.com is my website. If you stick a little /STR Summit, you will be able to register for next week's event. And obviously, Mark's got his way of getting it as well. You'll all end up in the same place for the next week, so that's fantastic. And we're looking forward to doing that. And I think the idea is hopefully it goes well and we can maybe put it as an in-person event over time. So, show us some love and turn up and ask you questions and get stuck in. There's going to be so much content drop next week. You would be mental not to attend. So Monday through Friday, I think we're doing 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. GMT, sort of BST as it is now. And but there's speakers from all over the world doing it. So we've got Sean, we've got TJ, we've got Mark, myself, Maria, Ellie. So just to name a few that's involved, and I'm sure we'll probably draft a few more in as well. So get yourself involved. Mark, once again, buddy, you're amazing, and thank you very, very much for putting this on. I'm sure everyone agrees with me how beneficial these rooms are, and I know how much it takes behind the scenes to put this on and keep it flowing as well.
You're a good man, and I think everybody here who is involved in hospitality and has people moving objects and whatnot will totally understand when you say you've had the day of it, because it's happened to everybody, and it can even happen on days like today. So we totally get it, buddy. Enjoy your beer tonight, or your pint of vodka, or whatever you're having. Ellie, I'm going to move down to yourself. So
I am so excited to do the shameless plug about what we're doing for the summit. We're going to do, I'm going to show you kind of the behind the scenes on how I creatively come up and assess the design process. I've been in the industry for the past 6 years, managed 125 across the country in 15 different markets for property management, and now manage luxury vacation rentals out of Scottsdale. So designed a lot of homes, and I think that it's really cool to kind of share my creative process. So if maybe you're a property manager and you're looking for some new systems to use to kind of virtually help clients across the country if you're scaling on that level, or if you want to have some new tips and tricks, I'm just going to reveal all of the things that I do. So hopefully you guys can join us for that. And Mark, Maria, John, everybody, happy to share the stage with you as usual. And Sean, happy birthday. And John, happy birthday. You guys are so awesome. Love my new Clubhouse family. And thanks again for hosting this, Mark. You've done such an amazing job.
My absolute pleasure. Okay, John, we're going to come to you, and then we're going to come back to Ding, who's going to see us out. So, John, again, if anybody wants to find out more, where's the best place to find out more about you, please?
Yeah, thank you, Mark. Thank you, everyone. This has been a lot of fun. And again, I always learn so much from everyone on the stage. My name is John. I am with Ohana Stay. It is a hospitality brand out in Honolulu, Hawaii. One of my claims to fame is I really do drive up the revenue for each and every one of the properties that I run and operate. And so that's one thing that I really enjoy doing. Ellie, Sean, and I, to find me, one of the things, Ellie, Sean, and I host a room every Tuesday on Clubhouse. It's called Tech Tuesday, and we talk about various technologies surrounding short-term rental. And so we just had one earlier this morning, and we have another one coming up next week. And so if you follow either myself, Sean, or Ellie, you'll be able to find that room. And other than that, I think one comment I have is, Mark, if you could get Ding to go to the VRMA and maybe he can rap for various operators or hosts. That would be amazing entertainment. So maybe you can make something like that happen. But thank you. This was a great room.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you very much. And I love the request. All right, Ding, we're back to yourself. Hopefully you've had a chance to look at everybody's bios and you've got some inspiration. But I'm going to let you do what you do and enjoy, my friend.
Perfect, Mark. Appreciate you. And no pun intended, but let's wrap up the room. All right, Neil in the show. I know y'all been waiting for a minute, so let's get the music. No auto-tune. Feel like that I'm on the moon. Sweeping like I brought a broom. Yeah, and it was loud, but it's sonic soon. Hey, I'm underground like I got a tomb. Okay, yeah, we come around like I got some room. Yeah, I do it well. Yeah, I seen the show. Okay, they be like, go, give them hell. Teaching how to leverage and maximize wealth. Yeah, you do it through BD and did it in stealth. Real estate acquisitions. We just gotta sit back and listen to you, cause you about to pass tradition. Create rivers of income. Yeah, if you don't hit up the show for that, then I guess you've been dumb. Business builder, consultant, and profit generator. Got a lot of this. Ain't no locksmith could lock her out. She going to the sky like a rocket, and I'ma just switch up to the bottom row. Topic switch. I'm a student who loves to learn. Yeah, God let his spirit fed. Yeah, come and burn. Sneaking to connect with like minds, I think is quite fine. I'm sipping that white wine, and yo, right here, I don't care how you feel. Yeah, I'm about to open bios, do a spit about Neil. Airbnb community leader for Calgary, Canada. Yeah, I see ya. Ain't no Rita Skeeter, cause it's no snitching, just the host mission. Guest satisfaction, yeah, man, we ain't so different. Over 3,500 stays and 35 units. Yeah, you might do it. It's like a high school kid, how you just not awkward at all. I'm rapping, I'm grabbing them ball, and it's actually all damn amazing. Yeah, and that's some crazy-ish. Yo, you getting the job done, 4.86 rating. That's almost 5, but more believable. Selling human super host, achievable. All the way, you a father and husband. You in Calgary, full-time, let's get it running. Engineer, and my homie Mark sipping beer. Yeah, we got the Belgian ales, a different year. And I know Ryan, yeah, that's the kid in here, Ryan Luke. Yeah, he's kind of a duke, don't rebuke anything, can't refute what he do with his team. Let me go. One question, one suggestion. If you're not involved in service accommodation, why not? Yeah. Shout out to Cyclops, cause he can see everything in that visor. Property specialist and mentor, tighter. Sign up for the webinar, yeah, get all the knowledge. You gon' learn more from Ryan than you did in college. I mean, shout out to Mariah, she hit me up on LinkedIn. I know what you thinking, everybody drinking. Yeah, I think they want money more, couldn't go to the money store. So we're running rooms on Clubhouse, how many hours? They like 24. Yeah, you wanted more? Well then follow Mark and come galore. Yeah, in the future we gon' do it again. We in the room with some friends. Yeah, and I usually been open to doing collaborations for fees. So yo, John, pass a little message to me. Real estate investor, developer, that's what you do. Yeah, you got an LLC, I know that you cool. Right here, we in Ohana. Yeah, let's get the operators and not debate anyone. Yeah, I know that we got some haters, but it's okay, the guests not loud, don't need to call the neighbors. Yeah, I brought the flavor.
Amazing.
Thanks.
Ding. I just want to say thank you for that. And again, if anybody wants to find out more about you and everything that you're doing, etc., where is the best place? Where's your social media of choice right now?
Sure, LinkedIn. Either hit me up, on Instagram through DMs, or just connect with me on LinkedIn. I tend to be on those two platforms the most.
That's cool. So how are we spelling your surname again, just so people can find you on the LinkedIn? So DING is obviously the first name. What's the surname?
That's right. Z or Z internationally. HENG.
Perfect.
Zhang. Ding Zhang.
I just want to say thank you so much for coming in on this final hour and just giving us something completely different, completely left field. Nobody knew you were coming. I only messaged you a couple of hours ago, so thank you very much for catching this, because obviously you're based on the west coast of America, and then more importantly coming in and doing this. I appreciate you for doing it, and every single one of the moderators, people up on stage right now, thank you so much for doing it. Everybody that is in the audience, please do me a favor. And I know Clubhouse now is actually encouraging you. It's encouraging me to do so. It says, enjoying the conversation, ? Follow some of the speakers. And you can literally go and follow all the speakers right now. So please do go and do so. If this is your first time using Clubhouse, hello. This is your very limited time of using Clubhouse. Hello. Thank you very much. If you want to keep in touch with me, all you need to do is go to boostly.co.uk, boostly.co.uk. From there, you can put your email address in and we can keep in touch on my favorite form of marketing, which is email. Do that, and please make sure that you go follow everybody, do all the things, do all the lovely stuff, but tell hosts about this. This recording is on YouTube right now, the Boostly YouTube channel. It's been fully recorded. You can go and check it out. You can go check out the replays. I've broken it all down into couple of hour chunks, so you're not having to listen to 24 hours straight off the bat. Please do go and follow that and keep in touch. But the most important thing, the final message I want to give to everybody right now, and it doesn't matter whether you're listening to us live or on the replay, is that you have heard so much advice. You've been given so much advice. The one thing I want to see is action, because action is the key to businesses moving forward. If you just learn and just procrastinate and do nothing, then what's the point? If you're going to sit here and spend your time hours doing this, then I want you to take one thing that we have mentioned. Doesn't matter what that one thing is. I want you to put it in practice into your business right now. Like Liam has taken something from Sean, and I know Liam will go and put that into his business because he's an action taker. And I want to see everybody else doing that as well. So whatever that may be and whatever that is, then get in touch with me on Instagram and tell me what it's going to be, because that's what I love to see. I love to see action takers. So from me and from everybody else, thank you so much. If you've got any feedback, if there's anything that you want to see in the future, then please do let me know. Keep in contact on Instagram. This is the third and definitely the final 24-hour room that I'm ever going to host and hold. So for those that have tuned in, thank you so much. Ding, thank you for being a part of the final hour. It's been by far my favorite, and I will definitely be keeping in touch because I've got some ideas of how we can create some content for Boostly in the future. But we have just officially passed the 24-hour mark. We have done it third and final time, and I'm now just going to share out the room. Any moderators want to shout any final last things, please do so, or forever hold your peace. You've got officially, let's see if this actually works. Can anybody actually hear what I've just done now? Can you hear a countdown clock, yes or no?
No.
Oh, absolute liability. Absolute. Anybody hear a countdown clock now? No?
Yes.
You can hear a countdown
John,
clock
I
now.
got you.
You've got a countdown clock right now. Yes or no? No?
No. Now we have.
Now you have. There you go. Okay, so this is the countdown clock. If anybody moderators want to shout anything, you've got literally, 10 seconds? Go for it now.
Just to say thank you, Mark. You're an absolute legend, and this room's been amazing. Thank you again.
Well done, guys.
Classic countdown.
Love it. Amazing, guys. Take care.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
guys. Well done.
Bye.
Oh, okay. Well, hello there. Facebook, Instagram. You could hear the clock, which is good. I'm glad you could hear the clock. That was amazing because I was the only person that could hear it earlier, and it was stressing me. So raise your vibe. You can hear the clock here. Yes, we can hear it on the YouTube. I just pressed the wrong buttons. So hello everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Ding was fantastic. Yes, Shirley, I totally agree. Ding was amazing. And again, thank you so much for everybody that wasn't on the Clubhouse, who was tuned in via here on the YouTube channel or on the Facebook. That was amazing. Had such a good time. Such a big 24 hours. I am shattered. I am ready now to go to bed. And it's only 9 o'clock, but I've been up since 5 o'clock. So if you've got any final things that you want to say, those of you that are tuning in with me live right now, please do so, or forever hold your peace. I am going to be back. When am I going to be back? I am going to be back online on next week. So next Tuesday on the Boostly Facebook page, I'm going to be doing a cryptocurrency NFT chat with Luca and Simon Lehman. Looking forward to that. Next Monday, I'm going to be taking part in Ryan Luke's 5-day summit, which is all on Zoom. Boostly.co.uk/STR if you want to find out more about that. And I'm going to be doing a couple of other podcasts for other people. But apart from that, I'm going to be pretty much offline for the next couple of weeks, just figuring out and doing other little bits and bobs. So again, Tracy, thank you for the kind words. Really appreciate it. And everybody, thank you for joining in and doing this. I will be back very soon. And thank you again. Let me end this broadcast the only way that I can think of doing it.
Having a blast, gonna get it on the Boostly podcast. Boostly like Bruce Lee, cause it's so hard on the T is loose leaf. Making up those rhymes, don't write it, just